South Ribs or something, man.
I think you can work it, you can. I think you can work it, you can. I think you can work it, you can. I think you can work it, you can.
I see the future in the eyes of men that look just like me. I feel the pain in my heart, knowing they came up just like me. I hear an alarm sounding to wake others sleep just like me. I get the feeling that they're just like me, then you're just like me. Here nigga go at it again. The looks from the neighbors make a nigga feel fresh out of the pen. This shit ain't easy, they should give my job a try. How they mad? I sell the shit they wanna buy, but shit, without them, where the hell would I be? If I was one of them, I'd probably tell what I see, but they don't, and you gotta give them credit for that. And I do, they can always get credit from black. Shorts is nothing, I take them like the hair, one-dimensional turtles, wait for the money to be there. My pops taught me all too well how to keep this a pure thing on the street, boy. Never ever wait for a sure thing. I see the future in
learning institution, a development institution that helps thousands of people in the process of healing and the process of learning. Okay, so my name is Brother Levi Udari Sangura. I'll write it out so you can say it. Yes, sir. Yes, we do. Come down to this section, right over to our wall, Black and Nobel wall. We have DVDs on yoga, right here. Yep, right in front of you. So my name is Brother Levi Udari Sangura. For the people who might be watching later on, and for everyone that's here, you can just simply call me Brother Levi. Today's subject matter is going to be twofold, and this is going to be dealing with healing in two aspects. So I'm going to start with the aspect that I'm going to be speaking on, that I'm getting you geared for, and that is the therapeutic aspects of walking. Let me say it again. And it sounds very simple, and it is simple, but it's so much more in depth and powerful that scientists have been researching deeply into the therapeutic effect of walking, and in particularly walking in nature, walking in unurbanized environments, and walking in more nature-based, plant-based environments, and how that affects health and life in individuals as well as in collective communities. Okay, so that's what we're going to be speaking about. I'm going to write it up on the board. If you're new to my class or these classes, these sessions, you need to have pen and paper all times when you come to my class. Because a lot of times I'm going to be giving information, and you got to be able to write down the notes. Because we have so much data coming through that I can't even. There's not enough time to compress that amount of data for you. At least not in my time. I do a whole lot of work. So this is from experience in my life studies as well as college studies. So I have a lot of things that I can give to you orally and give you the notes so that you can also find it for yourself. All right? So stay tuned.
And the New York football giant win the Super Bowl.
I'm bound to get nasty and pop them corks like your booty won't pass me. Come here, baby, I don't mean to grab your wrist, but I want to show you my dance. It goes something like this. Two-step, wide to the right, look like the uptight type, but I got you loose tonight. Bartender, order another drink, cause she bout to boogie with me like her big booty don't stink. I get respects from the pub to the club, the cabs or the dub, champagne or the coke and the rum. Thugs hate chicks love, we doing it up. Hard to go lick that pussy from the back to the front, and my whole team drunk at the bar going wild. Niggas spending up money like it's going out of style. Lemon slice, soul shaker, Quavo in the shot glass, gold swagger, Bacardi apple swagger with the cash. VIP pass is all good to me, but the core of the dance floor is where the action gon' be. Access to a G, bottles by the load, and I'ma try not to spill it on my clothes, but if I do,
At least 3,000.
Okay, let's start it again. Hotep family, how you feeling? Alright. Let me get myself together for a moment. My name is Brother Levi Udari Sangura. I am one of the managers here at Black and Nobel. I'm also a community activist and teacher. Background is in environmental science, behavior health. So, two of the things that I love to study is, of course, psychology, human behavior, spirituality, philosophy. The other part is environment, and mainly how environment shapes and influences people. That's one of my biggest joys to do, is to study that interaction and how to use that knowledge for the benefit of health and helping people. Okay? So we're talking about in subject matter, therapeutic horticulture. Therapeutic horticulture is not a new subject. Therapeutic horticulture is a subject matter that will be used to categorize many other techniques of therapeutic medicine or therapeutic practices, healing practices, that is used in nature. Amongst our Asiatic family on the planet, this would be connected to a subject matter known as feng shui. A lot of people use this word a lot, but when you ask them what the meaning is, most people never define the meaning of it. Feng shui translates to wind and water. And if you look very closely even at how the word is being spelled, you will see something right there in front of you. Shu. Tefnut and Shu. We know that Shu deals with air, right? Actually, Shu would deal with the air part, the wind. In the ancient Kemetic cosmology, Shu deals with the wind. And if you look at Ang and the Feng, water. You also have inside of the same word, Hu. It's dealing with one of the senses of creation. Hu. So it means when feng shui translated as wind and water. So basically, feng shui, yes.
No, I was just saying it's deep too, because that's basically what the whole atmosphere is made out of, a combination of wind and water, which is plasma, or your
Yes,
atmosphere, your ionosphere. No? So that's deep, that they always confuse the two. Whatever culture you go, Shu it can be the air or the water, which shows how interchangeable it was throughout the
Because air and water actually
ancient.
is
Exactly.
the same thing.
Correct.
Which is that hydrogen goes back to the waters anew, the
Correct.
hydrogen principle.
That's right.
So plasma, I'm glad, and I put that up here. Thank you. That's why I put it up here. Plasma. Okay? Which is also now we're going into also what they call tachyon, but I don't want to go too far, too fast with us. To keep it simple. Alright? And in feng shui there's something called, and this shows you the interconnection between African languages and Asiatic languages. So I want to show you some connections. There's something called the Bakwa. You can see it spelled two different ways sometimes if you study. B-A-K-U-A or B-A-G-U-A. Bagua, Bagua, or Baka. Now, when you look at that word, you see some things, don't you? The Bagua in feng shui practices is usually referring to the mirror that helps to bounce off negative energies. Now, I don't know if you could get a glimpse of it, I guess, before it is over. There's a Bagua mirror in here. And it's over, right, you see it. It's over top. And the Bagua mirror in feng shui is used to bounce off negative energies going into a portway. So, if, like, you see how there's a line this way? It goes straight down? Well, the Bagua mirror is usually placed over the doorway or over a high place so that the lines of energy that is moving through the building and around you, that certain subtle forces hits the mirror and bounce back off. So also that's showing you that feng shui deals with also the concepts of not just wind and water, but also the science of light or photonic energy moving through the area. Y'all with me? And it's known in alchemy that with mirrors, when you talk about occult sciences, mirrors have always been used to offset negative energies in a place. And there's certain places you should never place a mirror. These are all things we'll learn in time. Again, I don't want to take you too far off from where we at. We're talking about therapeutic walking. The Ba. We know that the Ba deals with what? In Kemet, the Ba is the what? Come on, I know all of us Nubians in here, we know. Come on, Africans, y'all know this. The Ba is the what? Soul. Come on, family. Ba is the soul. And the Ka.
Wake them up. Wake them up,
Ka
Levi.
is the what? The
Spirit.
double. That deals with what? The essence, the spirit essence on this plane. Physical existence. Ka. That's why they also use the word Kaka. Doo-doo.
Tickets for sound check live?
Yes, hold on one second. Ka, which is the double. It is the energy, the spirit energy on this plane. Okay? Oh no, I'm good. Or physical. Oh no, I can tell them. I just need you to pause the camera, but I can give them the signal. Under. And what's their names? Mary. It's under the under. You'll see it. It's 2 envelopes. Your name should be on the envelope, brother. Okay, so Ka is dealing with the physical plane, energy of the physical plane, also known as the Ka in Arabic, and in Kemetic Nubic language, the Khat, K-H-A-T, which is when you hear the word Ka. Whenever you put a T at the end of a word in this language, it's dealing with a finalization, a condensing of energy. Khat. Right, yeah, you can hear all of it. That means dead, that means not dead body, but a body, or a physical shell.
It's that bread, that mana.
That's right. So, Baga or Baka, you can see clearly this is dealing with how light energy, soul, how energy moves amongst us. And now the Bagua, I'm going to erase this, deals with 8. This is going to be a short feng shui lesson. I'm going to erase this. Can I erase it now? Y'all got this down. Wrote down all these words. These are all search words now too. We have internet now.
Now you going in right now, Levi.
Well, let me say this. I don't learn any of this stuff off internet. I don't play that. I'm old school. So the internet is a helpful thing with doing the word searches and search engines. But you want to be able to always write it down. Your ancestors dealt with writing it down. Please. All right?
I do that even when I'm at home on the internet. I'm writing shit down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play that because the internet might not come back on.
Thank you. And not only that, but missing one word inside of a search for something or misspelling a word can throw you off for hours.
Yeah.
Just one word can open up a whole
Portal.
Whole portal of of data. So make sure you write the words down. Okay. Now we're going into some more occult, but I'm not going to stay deep into the occult part of this lesson. That's stuff that we can study later on, and also you can do some searching, like I said, on your own on that part. Not because we can't, but time doesn't permit. You know, these things are increments for some people. I have to take it slow. And our tradition, which is the older tradition as Africans, Nubians, Melanites, we have a tradition that's known as the Ifa. This word Ifa is Yoruba. The Yoruba people relate back to those who came out of the Congo, right? And went to later on live inside of what they now consider to be Nigeria. Manifestation of what they call the Nok civilization. These are the Nok people. the No Society, should I say. This is one of the branches that's in Nigeria. Okay? Now, the word EnQi deals with wisdom, particularly earth wisdom, heavenly wisdom. And there's something called the Odu. There we go. And the Odu is a whole system of markings of 2,560 or so markings, right? Earth markings, 2,000 or so, 2,560, give or take, of markings connected to the binary count of 8. But well, ones and zeros, of course, binary, but 8 being one of the numbers used in all of the readings in the markings. 8 count. This system of divination, I'm not gonna stay deep into this again because this is a whole nother class and I don't want to go too far off. This divination is connected to another form that went to Sumeria. And in Sumeria, it was written down as the Tablet of Destiny. Sound familiar? And I'm going to give you the book you can also quote and go source this information out of, so we can all be on the one. Later on, the EnQi travels over and can be found in the ancient Sumerian among the Elamite people, also known as the Sangeet people, the black-headed ones. It's the Tablet of Destiny. Later on, it travels all the way into China. By way of the Bodhidharma, by way of Confucius, the African people of China, and into the first king of China, excuse me, my memory banks, I have to go some time back in. Fuxi, I call their names. And this is some things that even people of China, let me make something very clear to y'all. There are people, don't ever think this because as Africans or Nubians, Melanites, in this part of the world, or even in other colonized parts of the world, that you are the only ones waking up to your ancestral knowledge. Please, please comprehend this. There are many people all over the world who do not know their ancestral origins and the intricacies of them. For instance, China, the first dynasties of China, the Shang dynasty. The Shang dynasty is melanated, black. I'm gonna say the word black, so it can penetrate your brain a little faster. Meaning dark-hued people like yourselves in this room. All right. And the Shang dynasty was matrilineal. Y'all hearing me?
Yes, sir.
The Shang dynasty was matrilineal. So not only was it black, Africoid, nothing wrong with that word. It's good. When I say it in this point, when I say black, from this standpoint, I'm talking about supreme and original. Be clear? So nobody won't walk out of here, Levi calling us black, do it outlaw, gloomy, down, depressed. No. Don't even try that with me. We talking science. And I know what you mean when you say it, but this is a different ball game now. We're going into God law. So they were black and matrilineal people. Fuxi is responsible for the EnQi, or as it's manifested in China, as the E-King. Now peep the words and peep the language. EnQi dash between the E and the Fa. Right? E-King. Peep the language. Most people, this is important to know because when it comes to any divination systems, mathematical magic, earth sciences, all of the different systems of the world are interrelated and connected. So when somebody comes to you talking about occult and divination,
At least all the ones that work anyway.
yeah, of course. Listen, you notice what I just said? All the mathematical codes. See, math works.
That's right.
Math in nature works perfectly. Human beings get into their own little racial concepts and all that. No, you want to know if somebody's on point? Look at the numerical codes and their symbol work, and you can tell whether they're recognizing not nature-based patterns. People who study nature-based patterns do better prediction. And what is prediction? It just means to speak of what's going on. To speak beforehand. You can speak on something beforehand if you understand the schedule. Don't you get a bus schedule and say, oh, the bus is scheduled to be here at what? 4 o'clock?
Right.
7 o'clock, right? Well, that's the same way that divination and astrology works. It's nothing but a table giving you timing on earth changes and what comes with those changes mathematically. We clear?
Check.
It's not no like, thank you. There's no off the wall science here, okay? One second. Close that door. Oh, yeah, I'll talk about. That's what I'm about to go into.
Okay.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so going back to Fusi, I want to go back to him, show you the connection between the EnQi and the I Ching, and I'm going to do more classes on that. That's going to be later, because that's intricate. But what happened was, and this is very, very important, is that Fusi, descendant of black people, Ching dynasty, it says the description of the Ching people was that they were oily, black-skinned people. Oily, dark-skinned people, black-skinned people. In fact, they say that in China, the only people that can look a dragon in the eye is the black people. So that lets you know, if you're the only people that can look dragons in the eye, then you must be the what? The dragon. So, anyway, taking it further, he was relaxing on, I think, out in nature, around the beach. This is how the story goes. And he seen 13 markings, numerical markings, on the back of a turtle. And these numerical markings is what he used later on to be signs and symbols and numbers to predict activity and weather patterns, behavior patterns, and activities that would take place. And the primary number that he used, one of them was 13. And this is a powerful number, and I'm going to bring this number back up during class. That a little better? 13. And he's seen also the pattern of the Bagua, which dealt with the numbers, particularly the number 8. 8 particular points, and each point had a numerical number. I have the chart, and I'm going to actually bring it up for you to see it. So everybody got this? Take mental notes of everything I'm saying. All right. And the book you can find this information is African Presence in Early Asia by Ronoko Rashidi.
Come here, man.
Patty
Now
cake,
look.
patty cake, babe, smash, bake, bake, shake, trash, put it in the block, let that thing rock.
Sex in the morning, sex in the evening, sex on the weekday, sex.
She's eating up a
Sex in the morning, sex in the evening, sex on the weekday, sex.
She's eating up a
Yeah, I run a wild and club. It's like back in the day, cause you can play fuck. It's like playing patty cake with your first love. I'm Scotch double dutch, I know you play fuck.
Yeah, I might see popping the butt. Push down like quarter water, dance floor, play fuck. Big whips like big whales, what's your first love? Poor wifey roll the joint back, seat, play fuck.
No more staircase, no more up on the roof. Now get her anywhere like a duck goose. Engine number 4 is fine. On the Bronxville Transit line. Do you have a job or crack? Puerto Rican girls be so damn stacked. I had a broad look so good, her walk or rape you. Unemployed bitch with dealer plates in April. So you can chew gum and walk, and you take dick and walk Looney Tune style. Looking like the chicken hawk. Jack and Jill went up the hill, cause your Jill was looking thick. Jack paid Jill's bills and Jill sucked Jack dick. I understand you got it, man, but we just rubbing. Dance for a couple of drinks, you know play fucking. So don't say nothing, go home feeling that peach. When you eat that banana bounce with this beat like
Sex in the
same as a handshake, man.
sex on the weekday, sex.
She's bug. First down like quarter water dance floor, play fuck. Big whips like big whales. What's your first love? Call wifey, roll a joint, backseat, play fuck. Goddamn.
That's how we can trace the divination systems across the globe. All of them. Look at the language. E. What's that? Ife. That's the city. Ife. That would be the city. Thank you, brother. In Nigeria. Right? In the Yoruba land. Ifa would be the practice. Odu. Ifa. Right? Would be the wisdom that's learned in the city of what? Ife. Thank you. Now, you go back to China. First Black Dynasty, the Ching Dynasty. You can trace the science all the way through Sumeria, Elam, all the way into India and over to China. And then they call it EnQi. Are you seeing the language connections? Okay. So I just want to, so if anybody want to run, say, oh, here Levi trying to take people on a Chinese trip. I just need to put all the Melanites out there, my fellow melanated people, that we are on the same page here. Now, in both of these systems of divination, one of the major numbers that is used in readings and markings, they use the number 8. That's a very important number in this science, both of them. Well, this is where class gets good. There's a debate about whether Benjamin Franklin and Benjamin Banneker is the real person, or the same person. I'm not going to sit here and play that game. I don't want to play that game right now. I've yet to see any information that's concretely going to change it. If you do, help me out. I don't know. But what I do know is this. That both of these, this is E5 is West Africa, right? China, I Ching is East.
You might as well say North Africa.
Right. Thank you. Well, say again. Thank you. you know, the whole thing. East China. North. Say it. I look at the earth as the people at that time did. It's just it's one continental people anyway. Truthfully, if you understand the history of empires. So, going on, in the book of Proverbs, there's a statement that's made, and I want to read it. And the statement is that the Creator, the Lord, right? And I'm going to use the words properly so you can comprehend that. Here it is. They open right to it. Write this down. Proverbs 8. We're going to start at Proverbs 8. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 25. I'm going to start from there. If you've been in my classes before, you know where it's about to go. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. Let me say that again. Trick. You hear that? Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. If you look into the Kemetic system of spirituality, if you look at those older systems of cosmology, Ptah is the one that is on the hill of what? Ptah is on the hill of Atum. Before the mountains were settled, there I what? Was. The Creator is the one who sat on the what? On the mountain. The hill represents infinite potential and power. That's we have Proverbs chapter 8, verse 25. Remember, all the book of Proverbs and the book of Psalms, according to historians and archaeologists, is credited to Amenhotep IV, Amenhotep V, Akhenaten. Right? So, and also they said that the book of Psalms is credited to Ptah-hotep. Check the records. There's an actual book called the African, you can go even to Muada Ashby's books, and he talks about how the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs, this is old. You can even go into Stolen Legacy.
That's right.
And they tell you that Moses was a student His name was Asar Morif, something of that nature. And he was a student of the ancient Kemetic order. But that the book of Psalms and Proverbs is Egyptian, quote-unquote Kemetic. I'm using the terms interchangeably so I don't confuse nobody. I don't want to talk over here and say Kemetic, and some people say, I never heard the word. So I'm going to use words interchangeably sometimes so we stay together. All right. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. It's talking about the Creator consciousness. The mountains represents the foundations of creation. The hieroglyphs for this is known as the cosmology of Ptah. And I'll show you all a picture in a minute of that cosmology so you can see the symbols. Now we're going to verse 26. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 26. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. On to verse 27, listen to this part. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass, there we go. There it is. When he set a compass. No jibber jabber, no nonsense, no mythos. Well, mythos symbols, but no talking, just out of my head. This is a compass. This is the compass. So when these people talk about the Bible, like, no, stop.
Can I get that
real? Can
I hold that? Yeah. Hold that for 1 second.
Around to you. This is the compass. When Ptah had created the cosmos, or the directions of the cosmos, he used 8 elements.
Wait, you got it the wrong.
I got it upside. No, it's right. It may look a little upside down to you.
That's the wrong trigram at the top.
I reversed it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I put the south up.
I got you. Because
when you put it on the table, it looks totally different.
I got you.
Yeah. So I can go this way too. It's either way.
Correct.
Either way, it still works. And actually, I always look at it from the east and west direction, so I'll go this way.
Right. That's what I was looking for. Anyway,
Okay.
It's all right.
And remember, the compass is a clock. A compass is a clock. So it turns, it don't sit still. We look at it and see it sit still, but it moves. What is that? North becomes south, and what is that? South becomes north. Now, going back to what I was saying. When you study Ptah's cosmology, pre-dynastic cosmology of Nubia and Kemet, he brings forth 8 elemental beings. They call them the Agdaf in some places. Who Het, Ku, okay, I'll go in order. Who Het, who deals with the breath, the masculine, the feminine. Whenever you put the et at the end of the word, we're going from masculine to feminine.
D-Night. We didn't start the fire. Swag. We didn't start the fire. Swag. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning.
My time is now, the future's here. Even in bumper-to-bumper traffic, my lane is clear. I ain't got no time for the visual, this paper to chase. I wrote 15 books, touring state to state. Haters grilling so hard, they face you bleed. I'm in the quantum state, moving at matrix speed. All the girls that said I used to look cute, grew into women. They say I look good in the suit. They say my intelligence is why they feeling it again. But every time I stare in their eyes, they stare at my zipper. I can't help bulging, even with my
Congo, right? They said that life on this planet started off of the back of the what? Turtle. Nomo anagono. Most people always talk about Nomo, but they never go into the damn story. That gets me very like, did they read the story?
No.
Because if you read the story,
book.
you will see where science has got the concept of evolution. Let me say it again. Problem with European evolution is that they don't have spirituality in context, because they still deny the existence of the Creator. So they make silly statements.
Fuck the bullshit. Niggas don't want you to win, so why would you quit? Digging on my aura, digging in my
Who invented all
aura.
these music forms were just playing with what was going on in their spirit. The label, who came up with the label? We didn't. The same thing with these so-called religions. We didn't come up with the label, somebody else did. There's no such thing as Hinduism. Okay, and Yoruba is not a religion, Yoruba is a culture and an ethnic group, right? Judaism is a tribe of people. It's not a religion, it's Judah, right? So you see the game? These labels are control factors, get away from them. Pure science, mathematics, numbers, and nature, that's it. And music, and light, that's it. And of course the plants for the healing. I think y'all got me, am I clear? All right.
Questions?
Yes. Any
Anybody?
more questions? Okay, so I'm gonna confirm this, and I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna go over a document that I want you all to look up, and I'm gonna give it to you. This document is gonna open up a world for you, and then we're gonna prepare for the brother coming with the other parts. All right? All right. We are clear. Philadelphia is set up on EnQi principles. On
The New York football giant
Drink as long as you get
win
drunk. Don't
the
matter what you
Super
drink as long as you get
Bowl.
drunk.
All right. So, a lot of stuff. We're going to jump right into it. My remote is a little crazy. He wants to go back or forward by 2. Alright, so the information is taken from a year-long course that we're going to be working through called EnQi. This is my workbook. Alright, so everybody that's going to be following the classes are strictly for members. Alright, and when I say members, I'm talking about the Black Youth Genesis. In fact, let me just go grab something real quick. Now this right here is one of the things that we use. I don't know if you want to zoom in a little bit, Jay. This is one of the things that we use here to do our community service. This is called a MRA machine, very similar to MRI. The only major difference is how the information is given out. And this one is brand new. This is actually for a Virginia chapter that we're starting up. So we have chapters starting up all over the country so that way we can service more people. All right? So that was going, that's Rashawn's. All right, Rashawn, so yours will be out there in VA ASAP, and I'll be out there. But the class is ongoing. You can catch the classes online. We have class number 1, number 2, and number 3 on video. Yeah, so family at home, y'all not down with the videos yet. It's going up online soon, blackandnobel.com. All right? So let's jump in. It's a lot of information, so we want to go as fast as possible so we can cover as much as possible. All right? So the number 64, Brother Levi did a great job of throwing an alley-oop for me in terms of setting up the number 64. All right? But what I want to talk about in terms of this is how we can actually use this as something that's workable. For instance, we talk about divining. It's like, okay, cool, you know, I heard all the weirdo shit before. No. Imagine if Mike Brown would have knew beforehand what was getting ready to happen and he could have decided not to go get the cigars, sent his homeboy to get the cigars. Imagine if Oscar Grant would have decided in advance not to go get on that train. What if he would have knew in advance to stay home that day, right? So I just want to point out something because I was just in Chicago, mind you, it was negative 35 degrees in Chicago. All right, so if y'all think it's cold here, you got another thing coming. It was negative 35. That means your spit was freezing before it hit the ground when I was in Chicago. All right, but I was up there doing a sermon at a church, and I was speaking about Mr. and Mrs. King. And one of the things I noticed was that the Civil Rights Act of '64, I hadn't paid any attention to it. I said, wow. And then when you deal with spirituality, when you deal with real divine, the spirit, the Most High, whatever you choose to call him, her, or it, will always send you confirmation. So the way that I knew that this was easily predictable in the numbers for people in the science was that the Civil Rights Act of '64 was passed by the 88th Congress. You see, that's just way too easy to see when you know the math, right? So we talk about Ruth-Aaron pairs. A Ruth-Aaron pair is a set of numbers. And what makes the Ruth-Aaron pairs significant is that they have to be sequential numbers, back to back, all right? Because 8 and 9 are Ruth-Aaron pair. They're sequential numbers that go, one behind another. But what makes them significant is that the factors that make them up are equal. So when you look at a number 8, you have 2 times 2 times 2 to equal 8, right? But 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. When you look at the number 9, you have 3 times 3 equals 9. But 3 plus 3 equals 6. So because the factors that make them up are equal and they're sequential, that makes them a Ruth-Aaron pair. Now, why we need to worry about that? Because our President Obama has an obsession with Abraham Lincoln. An obsession. He was sworn in on Abraham Lincoln's Bible. Right? I did a whole lecture on it in Sinetta's House of Consciousness in New York, and so you can pull it up on YouTube. But what we need to be aware of is the push for them to start a civil war now. You see, the first civil war with Abraham Lincoln in office started in Missouri. The same place with the Mike Brown thing. And the years are significant. 2015, 2016. Why? Because this is another Ruth-Aaron pair. 2 plus 1 plus 5 is 8. 2 plus 1 plus 6 is 9. So you have that Ruth-Aaron pair right here, just before the change in office, in political office. So niggas may get their money together. I'm letting you know. Alright? So other small significant things that I wanted to spend a little bit more time on, but we'll skip for today. When you go through the Chinese hieroglyphs, alright, because the Chinese language is hieroglyphs. Alright, they'll call it pictograms to play games with you, but it's a picture message. That's all it is. So the Chinese hieroglyphs, all of them have a maximum of 64 strokes in each letter. Alright, so even in the letter composition, they incorporated the science. And then we talk about a super perfect number, etc., etc. So a little bit more science and stuff. Alright? So again, pardon me for skipping through so many slides. If you see one that you have a question about, I'll stop. But I want to get to some specifics today. It's about 200 slides. We're not going to be able to do all 200 today. All right? So we talked about this. Hopefully you all seen the lecture. The periodic table of elements. The reason why I felt necessary to bring it back to this level is because this is our basic modern codex of how charge moves. Right? So when we talk about sacred geometry, that's how our ancestors did it, but this is how we do it nowadays. So a lot of times, if we don't translate what we're saying into this type of language, then we don't really understand. But I put the definition here to break down the origin of this so we would see what this meant, right? So when we look at L, the definition of L is a railroad or a train. So we know when we're looking at the periodic table of elements, we're not looking at a train schedule, no? Okay, so it couldn't mean that. The only other meaning for L refers to God. So then we're looking at meant, which is a form or noun expressing the means or results of an action. So we're looking at the tools that God used to create. That's the actual definition of elements in this way that it's being used here. All right? So we talk about the chart of elements and what each number means and what's more important to us in terms of our EnQi studies, where we focus most particularly on electrons. All right? And the entire science of black genetics that I put together for you, that's what we focus on, electrons. All right? That is the star of the show. All right? So we go through some of the charts and how to read the charts. All right? Just knowing, without going too crazy in specifics, where certain things are located on the chart will tell you a little bit about what they are and why you need them, like transition metals. All right? Those are the things that we need to focus on getting into our body to make our body more electrically active. All right? Transition metals. That's from your copper, your silver, your iridium, your rhodium, ruthenium, platinum, all of those things. Remote control is just doing its own thing. All right? So we talk about how energy in atoms is produced. All right? And this is up. So if you want to go deeper into the periodic portion of this lecture, you can type into YouTube and type in Minister EnQi periodic table, and I'll go in for 2-3 hours, actually like 4 or 5 hours in Detroit on this. All right? But the key thing to get before we move into the bulk of the information is that when you're looking at photons, when you're looking at light, all of that is about the movement of electrons. Everything in life is about the movement of electrons. That's what electricity is, the movement of electrons. So when we talk about vibration, that's the movement of electrons. When we talk about light, that's because there's a movement of electrons. When we talk about magnetism, anytime you have the movement of electricity, you automatically have a magnetic field surrounding it. So everything is based on the movement of electrons. And that's where the term elect comes from, and I think we might get to that. But that's where the original language before the Old Kingdom, when they started to pull from the older languages and create what we know of as the Metal Nature, that's where Horus came from in the elect. And I'll probably show that, pull it up in the slides for you. But it's important to know that because it's also transposed into the Bible as well. Stop the double. Hey. Good job, you crazy. All right, good. All right, so now we talk about how the chart and the different elements are broken down in terms of an everyday, simple, scientific, mnemonic device so that you can remember the different behaviors of the atoms and how they behave. So now, what is the focus? How do we deal with energy? Electrons, right? All right, so we're going to talk about how electrons behave in the different atoms, and that's how we're going to categorize them. All right? So, the poor, oppressed atoms. All right? These are the non-metallic atoms. All right? Those are also your insulators, right? In terms of food, things you should not eat. All right? Electrons are held in bondage to each specific atom. That means even though the atoms can come together, they won't share their resources, which is their electrons, their electricity. It's like how folks come together at certain types of lectures. Get black powered up, then we leave and do separate shit. Right? So we came together, but we didn't share resources to build anything yet. So we still not really making progress. We're just moving information around. We playing with it. Right? Now, you get to the next group of atoms. These are the atoms that have evolved. Alright? These atoms come together and they also share their resources. That means that the electrons within the atoms can move freely throughout the entire molecule. These are called metallic atoms. The reason they're metallic is because the electrons can move through the entire molecule. For that reason, nature grants them the ability to play with light and share in creation. Because they've evolved to learn how to behave themselves, nature said, okay, cool, you guys can play with us. Right? So they get to partake in light. Alright, so they can absorb photons and radiate photons. Now, we move to the noble gases. Alright? These are the guys that get a little bougie, they got a little change, right? So they don't need any favors, they don't need any help anymore. So they no longer bond with any other atoms at all. They don't bond with other atoms, they don't share electrons, they're good money. Alright? Then you have the next level, which is not even encoded in your periodic table, which is a problem, and we have to pass those limitations. The next phase, which is plasma. All right, so when you have plasma, those atoms, those elements can choose to become any of these. So when you have plasma, the easiest way for scientists to differentiate plasma from gas is that plasma's conscious. It makes decisions on its own. All right? Feel me good? If the video's messed up, it's Jay. Just
It's
let
not
people
me.
know at home.
It looks good.
All right. All right. So we talk about unemotional covalent bonding. All right. So this is when the non-metallic atoms bond but don't share their electrons. Emotional bonding, which is ionic. This is when electricity, right, or your feelings, right, is gained or lost. The result is a charged group called an ion. All right. So when your feelings are matched or met, now you have an ion. A negative ion is called an anion. A positive ion is called a cation. Or you can look at it like this. A negative ion is called the nutrient. A positive ion is called the toxin. Or you can say a negative ion is a vitamin, and a positive ion is a free radical or poison, etc., etc. All right? So you can easily use this as a, just imagine a U there with a caution sign. So anytime you see cation, you know it's not healthy. All right? So yes, we're going to skip through some of the more sciencey stuff, because what I want to get to is the leading research on inflammation and how connecting to the planet gets rid of inflammation and is actually a large source of our inflammation. The fact that we're disconnected from our planet.
Hello, non-believers out there. This is Sunday school.
All right? No other animals live that way. Just us. Only people. So I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna give y'all some background on some things. All right. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So I want to give y'all some background on some things. So now we talked about Sumeria earlier. Brother Levi did a great job. These are the two kings lists that we have that have survived, that are in the British Museum, I believe now, from Sumeria, our Sumerian records. Now, here's the significant thing, because they're having a debate over which one has the accurate years. They're not having a debate so that you know clearly over whether this one is accurate or that one's accurate. They know the kings are accurate because they know the kingdoms, because they know they found the land where the people was living at. So it's not about whether it's real or not. It's just a matter of having a debate whether these kingdoms span 222,600 years or 241,200 years. Now, the problem is these are all white folks having this conversation. Black folks already know they missed the whole boat. Because see, this is math, right? So we look at 8 kings, we see the 8 and the 8. Whoop, line that up. Then you look again, and you add up 200, you add the 2, 2, and the 2, you got 6. Plus 6, that's 12. 1 plus 2 is 3, right? Then you come over here, 2 plus 4, 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 2, that's 9. How could that be coincidence that this just happens to be the square of this one? You see? So this is the confirmation of this. These are confirmations of one another. It's not an either or, but you got to know the math. I'm gonna kill Sinetta, boy. Sinetta got my other remote. All right, so now we had 2 schools of knowledge. We had Hermopolis and Heliopolis. All right, at Hermopolis, the secret number was number 8. All right, at Hermopolis, they were focused primarily on biology. All right, so they used the number 8 to teach biology, because the number 8 is at the root of how all things that are organic and alive grow. All right, this is the foundation of the forces that grow those things. At Heliopolis, we had another scientific learning center with number 9 at the center of it, because number 9 governs all things that have to do with time and space. All right, so you have biology, and then you had time and space. So by using these 2 numbers, we were able to codify everything that would happen later on in time and space. And when we look at these two stories, they begin with what Max Planck and the rest of the Europeans have stolen and renamed the particle wave theory. All right? It's a wave sometime, it's a particle sometime, blah, blah, blah. That's just a new play on duality. All right? You got to see, they have to rename it so that they can claim it. Right? That's all that is. They're renaming your science so they can claim it.
There we go.
All right? But this is always the same. When you talk about, like earlier, Brother Levi talked about the tar. Right? That's the primordial amount. Coming from where? The waters. Particle from the wave. When we look at a baby, right now, my wife got 2. She's pregnant with 2 of them in there. 2 particles about to break through some waves. Right? So it's always the same. It's very simple. It's particle replication inside the wave. Very, very simple. All right? When you go all the way down to the oranges of us anyway, you're dealing with the marula, right? The marula. That's the zygote, or the fertilized egg, which is your matter, etc., etc. So this was all taught here. And we use one set of symbols because that's the level of efficiency. And that's accurate science. If all things come from one place, why we have multiple symbols? No. We have one set of symbols. One set of symbols. The only difference is here, this story starts with the 8 as opposed to the hidden one which created the 8. Alright? So it's the same science. Same science. And this is where binary code comes from. Okay, Minister, well, why is this important? Because you know what? If we still had the patent on binary code, all the shit we see in America, we would own. Everything. Because everything runs on binary code. This is when Morris science becomes relevant. We want to do paperwork on, oh shit, this shit we need to be doing paperwork on. Reclaiming binary code. Why is someone else getting money every time someone's phone rings because they're using binary code and not us? Every time the phone uses, it's binary code. Every time somebody uses a computer, every time somebody does a search anywhere, it's binary code. We're supposed to get PC. That's Hood 101. Where's my cut, nigga? Right? I need my cut. Ain't teaching for no reason. I hope y'all get that at home. I'm not teaching for no reason. I'm arming y'all with tools so we can go hunt down some money. Right? Now, this right here is from a very interesting book, very interesting author, which I won't share with you. What I will say is this. Yes. What I will say is this. It's just, and we'll go deeper, and I'll give the book and the source later on, but I don't want to distract people too early because Homeboy is really, really out there. But this is the breakdown of the Mayan calendar. All right? And the important part about this, just for now anyway, is this. If you can see it, I don't know, Jay, if you could zoom in on it.
Which part? That right there where your finger
this
is?
Bottom part right here.
All right.
This is the culmination in the breakdown. So you see 9 times 144,000. That's the first column. And this is, listen, and this is broken down in the Mayan pyramids. So the calendar's actually in stone. Well, you might have to slide the camera over a little bit, Jay, because the elder's
Can do.
So the elder don't move, the camera gotta move back.
Word.
Yeah. So this is actually in stone. So we see 144,000 right here. So this was in stone. I'm just saying, it's in the Bible too, but it's also in stone. All right? And then we see the number 9 is the centerpiece of the entire Mayan calendar. So we don't even have to go deep into the Mayan calendar, what is it saying, and none of that. Because we know white folks on this planet is going crazy about the Mayan calendar. All you need to know is that you own it. You own it. And it's the number 9 still from Heliopolis that runs the Mayan calendar. Okay? Is that a clearer?
It's perfect. I mean, the first one was cool. I got it.
Okay, but now you can see it.
Yeah, it's all good. I got it.
All right. And here is the correlation and why it becomes then important for your biology. Because the 187-year cycles are based on the solar neutral sheet shifts, meaning the movements of the sun. Right? So we see where even Snoop might have got it, right? I could rather get caught up in a 187. You might get caught up in a 187. Right? That's the police code for death. Kill. Right? And that's deep. Because the sun does represent death for white folks.
Right.
The numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. People do. Numbers don't. Right? 187 again. 1 and 8, 9, plus 7, 16. 8 and 8 is 16. I'm just saying. You can do this all day. Alright, so this is the Mayan calendar though. Alright? Alright, so this is a little bit more time. But this goes through the sun's movements and we get a little complicated here. This is why I don't want people to run out and grab the book. Then they're just going to be boggling me down with questions about the solar neutral sheet shift.
Oh wow. I ain't seen this in a while.
Right. Right. So we'll do this.
Oh wow. Digging how?
Well, we gotta do it. If we're gonna really deal with the EnQi from the right perspective, it's magnetics.
Yes, sir.
And so a lot of times when people do I might need a stronger battery. I think that's what we need. Please give me a AAA.
Need AAA?
Yeah.
You need the money?
Let me see if I got one in my bag. We might have to go to the yes, man. Oh, so hopefully this battery change puts us in business. Oh yeah. All right. The battery change got us where you. All right. So, again, all right, the brother did an awesome introduction, all right, because he talked about magic squares and how Philadelphia is laid out on a magic square, all right. So we have the whole entire breakdown here, which guess what? We will not be going through. So,
Paris.
Back to our, correct. Niggas in Paris. Listen, when they see the Kanye and they see them putting up the Black Panthers and the goats, niggas in Paris, nobody caught it, nobody got anything. This is why we got to get symbol literate. That's all masonry and divination that's on that music. In fact, the last Jay-Z album was a trigram. The actual album, that's right, was a trigram. So So we're looking at the people who are practicing divination, and we don't see how they're accumulating the success, the wealth, and the money. But we can look around and see the motherfuckers that aren't practicing it, what they're getting. Right?
Could you break down what a trigram is for me real quick?
Wow.
You was here to hold Levi's whole class.
I know.
We'll get to it. I got you.
All right,
we're going to come to the trigrams and their names, definitions, meanings, all that. I got you.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is where we go. This is the breakdown. We kind of already got this with the exclusion of 161. Now, I'm big on the meaning of numbers, and this just happened to be the street that I grew up on, 161st Street in the Bronx. So it's like this was always, I don't know. Alright, anyway, so vibration, sound, phonons, right? We have to pay attention to this, alright, because we had a small shift. Alright, the Rockefellers played a quick little game and nobody noticed it. They took us from here. They took all of the natural music and shifted it to something synthetic. Now when you shift the planet's musical scale, you shift the vibration of everything that lives on the planet. They moved from an A432 to an A440. This is why you see that the whole world is on this frequency, right? You ever heard Know the Ledge Radio, Brother Blue Pill, always on this 44. This is why it's so easy to use the 44 in divination, because everyone is moving to that frequency. We know the numbers, and then we can put it right in, boop, 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 boop. It's just like a computer, we calculate. Very simple. It's just different types of counting that we're talking about. All right? So the change not only took us backward in creation, but it locked us down in our bodies. The synthetic vibration traps light in matter, limiting our ability to perceive awareness. All right? So you have to understand that your body is a prism. This is the reason that we have to have minerals and things to keep ourselves healthy, so that we can hold on to the higher frequencies that we need for our body to function. All right? No, it's a little science. It's all right. Yell out or throw something at me if it gets too crazy. All right? So, understand though, even down to the dollars, down to the money, your computers was built on this system. Right? So we didn't notice that the binary coding was even in the memory banks of the computers. Right? 2 to the 7th power. Right? Because binary coding just deals with a 1 and a 2. So you can multiply that. 2 to the 7th power, you get 128 megabytes. 2 to the 8th power gives you 256 megabytes. See, I always wondered why they skipped in megabytes. Like, how did they go from 128 to 256 to 512 to 1 gig? Like, why was it making that specific amount of jumps? Because they're dealing with exponential numbers on the binary code. So the same way, the same system they use to process the information is the same system they use to store the information that they're making by processing the information. It's all yours. All right? And that's why on the back of your credit card, you see the black strip. That black strip is the magnet on the back of your credit card holding the information. That's doing this. All right? So even every bank owe you some money because they're banking using your principles to transfer money. Remember, they tell you in a heartbeat, money is digital now. Well, what is digital? Binary coding. Who owns that? Okay. All right? So we talk about the number 9 in the time. All right? In the time. All right? So you'll have that you'll have that in the video. All right? You have that in the video. I know. I got to go a little faster. All right? Brother Levi talked about the 12 zodiacs. All right? 72 years per degree in each zodiac. All right? That's what we have to look at, this total number here. This is the major cycle of the cosmos, 25,920 years. All right? Now, how do you see the number 9? All you got to do is add it up. 72 years per degree. 7 plus 2 is 9, right?
Go out.
Come on. 7 plus 2 is 9, right?
Yes.
Okay, I need to hear voices. I know y'all a little cold, but I told you. Y'all can all go to Chicago with me and experience that minus 35. Alright? Now, 2 plus 1 is? 3 plus 6 is? 9. Again, the number 9. So the number 9 here. Years per degree in each zodiac. But then it's 2,160 years in each zodiac. Check?
Check.
When you break down that numerology, it brings you back to the number 9. Now the total cycle to go through 12 of these zodiacs gives you 25,920. What is this number? 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 9 is?
16.
16 plus 2 is?
18. 9.
1 plus 8 is?
9.
Again, this is how all of your time works. All your time is based on this number. So when you use these numbers, this is how you can calculate what's happening. Alright? Now, when we still play with these numbers, 72. Now what's this number 11? Real quick on the number 11. Just give you some quick science on number 11 so it doesn't seem like it's popping out on you. Number 11 is what's called the inverse of number 9. Alright? But in more esoteric occult systems, it's called the master builder's number.
He only knows people that kill people.
Oh, every time I close my eyes.
So when we look at, well, this is why the 11 is the foundation. Because when we look inside you, what makes you black, right? That's on your 11th chromosome. It's called the TYSR gene. That's what encodes for whether your body can even process the parts of the electromagnetic spectrum. So we talk about the science, it's still in your biology. So when they talk about the melanin, the carbon, all that's controlled on the 11th chromosome. So that number even still plays out in your biology, right? So when we multiply this 72 times 11, you get this guy, 792, all right? Just 1 0 away from the diameter of the earth. The exact size. Now, when you go up here and look at this, 260 years in each zodiac, that same number is the diameter of the moon. Now watch this. When you take the diameter of the moon, which is the number of years in each zodiac, and you multiply that by 4, the 4 sets of twins that we're going to talk about, right? You get 864. All right? Who knows what that number is?
9.
It's 9, but what does that number represent? Come on. We're talking about the sun.
Space and time. Go back. 864,000. That's dealing with the zodiac again. And there's also the great part of the great year, the Mahayugas.
We're going to come to it. All right? This is just showing you some more simple math. Right? Just more simple math. We're going through sevens. All right? All right? Now, we talk about patterns. So I show the patterns in these, but this is a little bit more timely, so we'll breeze through. We go through the 9 patterns. All right? Got a little protractor out. All right. And this is why we go through the 9s and the 11s and kind of skipping. But like I said, this is going to be a year-long course. So the stuff that I go through that I'm skipping, we will hit thoroughly this year. Or I'm just getting people prepped and ready for the workbook, so when the workbook come out, we know what to do with it. We're not looking crazy, right? Because I know this is a little bit more advanced, and people really want to hear, like, stop eating pork and don't drink Pepsi, but we can't do that for another 50 years. We're not going to go anywhere with that. So it's like, okay, cool. Step 1, purify the body, get healthy. Then what, nigga? Like, so now we're doing the then what part. Right? So the next step, what do you do with the potential? How do you use it? How do you activate it? That's what we're doing here. All right? So, 911, the emergency number. Sitting right in our face all this time. And didn't even become popular. Nobody looked at it outside of people in occult systems until after September 11th. Right? We didn't pay attention even in the Bible. Jesus died in the 9th hour, right? Look, 100 divided by 11, just so you can see how these are called inverse numbers. 100 divided by 11 gives you 9s. 100 divided by 9 gives you 11s. All right? Very simple. 432 to the second power. That means 432 times 432. All right? 432 to the second power means photons travel the planet 7.4 times per second. This is how fast they travel. Photons, light. Right? Why is that important? That light, photons move around the planet at 7.4 times per second, because 7 plus 4 is
11.
So the number always comes back. 432, 9. 186,624 gives you
9.
And what is this number? The speed of
Light.
The speed of light, correct. Very important to pay attention to these numbers, because when people miss the numbers, they miss the science. Like right in the Bible, this is how they identify the tribe of Israel. 186,624. It's in the book of Numbers. And it's in the book of Numbers. I say, damn, how are they going to identify the tribe of Israel with the number, the exact number of the speed of light, and everybody skipped right over that?
Tribe of Judah.
Correct.
Leo.
That's right. Their number. 186,624. Numbers chapter 2 verse 9 or chapter 9 verse 2. Alright? Space.
11.
9.
Space. That's right. Number 9. Now check this out. The Great Pyramid location. 29.9792458. That's the exact pyramid location. That is also the speed of light per second in meters. You see? This is how I told you earlier, when you deal with the spirit, it's always going to be confirmation, so you know you're dealing with something real. It's not that stuff that white folks read auras in 15 minutes and all that shit. It's not that. It's not that. Oh, I'm seeing your relationship is going to have a change soon. Stop. We paying top dollar for that kind of shit. I see your relationship's gonna have a change soon. The only thing constant in life is a change. Anybody can do that. I can have a reading for anyone. Come on up. Up. I think in your job or your education, I can feel something coming on. A big move. Well, it's not right now, but it's coming soon. It's. They're trying to pull it out of you. You're getting excited and shit. Like a raise? I see it. Yeah, I see it. It's surrounding writing or something. Writing? Is it numbers or words? What's that? Damn near everything? Numbers or words? See, they playing them games with you. Right. You're getting emotional. You think, no, that's not divining. That's called bullshitting. This is divining. Math, numbers. But we learned 1 + 2 = 3 in school, and then we get confused and think that's real math. No, that's not real math. Because if that was real math, anybody with that type of math could be a business accountant. Nobody's gonna hire you to run no big Fortune 500 company doing 2 + 2 = 4. They don't even use that kind of math, all those kind of numbers. Right? So we gotta see. This is the real deal.
Come on, bro.
Right? Numbers chapter 2:9. Right? Numbers 2:9. All right? So why do I have this? I just had to put this in. White folks crazy, and I just, sometimes it's good to see what white folks think about white folks. So white folks are saying that white folks is God and the devil. I said, damn, white folks got some shit going on. You gotta really get high in your mind if you like, damn, I'm God and the devil. And get some powder or something. You gotta crazy. And he tricking himself. I said, damn. We waiting for him to stop tricking us. That's never gonna happen. That nigga think he tricking himself. And he is. Because the small group, and this is a big problem, the small group, and we are progenitors of this problem. The small group of Europeans that runs this planet is not connected to the larger Europeans on the planet. So when you see Susie and Bobby at work, they know even less of this shit than you do. We thinking they all down with Illuminati. Like, dude, trust me, they would not be at your job. They would not be in your school. They would not live in your neighborhood. They wouldn't even live in your state in a way where you could see them. That was the one biggest thing that I learned from hanging out with millionaires. Millionaire dude lived in my building named Pitt. He was down with the bomb squad in their heyday, and he kept producing, making money, whatever. But he used to take us down to the studio and hang out and meet all these different people. I'm like, yo, hold up. These niggas is walking around like it's like a secret. Like they all in the mix of us, but they not with us. Like they're all walking around in the same, like this millionaire is walking around in Philly right now. Bunch of them. But they just not where we are. Like we just miss each other somehow. They're going in this building, we're going in that one. Like, oh, there's rich niggas this way, broke niggas that way. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna have to figure this out. I got to get in a different circle. I got to try to figure out, they're all over. They speak this language though. Numbers. We're not speaking numbers. We speak vice. That's how we create relationships, vice. You smoke cigarettes? Oh, I smoke cigarettes, cool. Me and you tight as shit now. You got a cigarette? Oh, I got a cigarette, cool. We speak vice. You go to a job, you drink coffee, you cool as shit with all the coffee people now. Right? Oh, damn, y'all seen such and such in the club. Yeah, she was getting fucked up. Yeah, she drank. Hell yeah, she drank. Oh shit, that's my girl, we gotta get tight. Hey, you
Frequency.
We speak vice.
Frequency.
That's right. We gotta start speaking numbers. Because numbers is where money is at. That's where things is happening at. Science. Right? So we gotta get this. The language of creation. Alright? Now look at these. This is Pythagoras. Anybody heard of Pythagoras before?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anybody here, he was a kleptomaniac?
Yes, he was.
See, just Levi. Yeah, you don't know. Pythagoras is a kleptomaniac. Alright? His entire religious movement was made around a triangle, right, in the 2D, but it would be a pyramid in 3D, right? But we know there was no pyramids and triangles in Egypt. In Greece. What we gotta do is walk through Greece. We don't see this. You see this in Egypt, all right? So we'll walk through this and look at the science, because we do have to do that. A lot of times we get so arrogant in the fact that we've created things, we don't realize that we still have to go back and get our science from the people who stole it so that we can enact it again. We get happy with just knowing we created it. Oh, no, we started that. Okay.
Pythagoras.
They're using it though.
Pythagoras actually admits that he got his information, but they switched it up in the books and said it was underneath another guy.
Pythagoras says he was educated in Egypt. Correct.
Book, The Missing Pages of History.
Right. Oh, well, there's tons of Pythagoras books.
Yeah.
I would suggest the ones based on musical theory, because it gives you more science than the ones like the mystical Pythagoras stuff. But you want to get into the science, all right? So let's do that. All right. We talked about how the pyramids were laid out according to musical frequency. All right. So, for instance, the Great Pyramid, you have a major third. At the Teddy Pyramid, which I wrote down in another lecture, because in the Teddy Pyramid, the inscriptions in the pyramid give directions for telekinesis. This is in the pyramid, in the inscriptions in the pyramid. This is why white folks don't want you in there. See, they make you think this weirdo shit. Meanwhile, they in the pyramid studied up on your shit. Like, oh, okay, connect the left brain to the right brain. That's what it's talking about in there. Connecting the left brain to the right brain, and once you have them set, whole brain functioning, now you can open up telekinesis. That's in the pyramids, in stone. Why are we spending our time chasing ecstasy and Molly, trying to simulate the same levels of dopamine and DMT release in the body that we can get naturally? Because we don't know. Right? Yes, that is my nozzle. Hey, when I was little, that nose wasn't cool. Now girls are like, ooh, you look so African. I'm like, Damn it. That's right. I have to replay that. Bring that nose back for you. Yes.
Hey, Ink, I want to say something about what you were saying about the frequency of music. They've done, thank you. They've done some research recently on the how music affects the brain, and they said that just by listening to music, you activate more of the brain than any other activity on the planet.
Now let me show you why.
And if you play an instrument, it is like a jubilee running around inside of your brain.
And it produces ASPM genes. And makes the brain
ASPM genes,
grow.
yes.
Correct. But this is why that happens in your brain. Because the actual neurons and neural networks in the brain that resonate with music are laid out in octaves the same way that the musical notes are. So your brain is actually hardwired for sound. All right? And this is where this is encoded. Let me just bring this back so you can see how this is here. You have 2 over 1. You have 3 over 2. You have 4 over 3. You see? These are your musical ratios. Yeah. Right? All coming from that same pyramid. You're going to see how a lot of different science comes out of that same tetractys is what they call it.
Tetris.
Game. Right? Game of building. You gotta remember, God built. Now, so look, let's look at these points though, because this is another bit of science that's encoded in that same pyramid, because you have 10 dots. Right? So here you have 1, then 2, 3, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 10 altogether. So now what you're talking about, watch this. See, I'm gonna bring you back. Keep bringing you back so you see. This is a point. So we're talking about how something goes from the spirit to something being manifest in the flesh. You start at a point, right? Then you start with 2 points, which gives you a line. Right? Now you're seeing something in one-dimensional. So you just went from spirit to something one-dimensional. Now you go 2-dimensional, but you require 3 dots. Right? Your 2-dimensional depiction is going to be a triangle with 3 dots. Now, once you have something 2-dimensional, all right, you've crystallized your thought. So now you're going to 3D with action. And this is how this is symbolized on paper. Right? So you see the movement going from the dot to the line, to the triangle, to the flesh, or the 3D. You see that? All in that same one pyramid. You see, this is why pictures communicate much better than words. Right? Now, let's take it to an ethnic standpoint. You don't have to give white folks hell, or it wouldn't be a good Minister EnQi class, right? This is the reason why Europeans see one-dimensionally, because they only have 2 eyes. You see 2 dimensions because you have 3. This is why you see more of the picture. Okay? This is why you can't communicate with them. Why you have to explain certain things to them. Alright? So you're never going to be able to see eye to eye with them. We have to stop looking for that. Move forward. Right? Now, here is a very big secret. A very big secret that I'm sharing with Philly first. Alright? When we went through the various modalities going from a spirit to flesh, we ended with the 4 points, creating the 3D, right? 4 points creates the 3D, the pyramid. 4 points. 8 points creates the tetrahedron. And this is the secret link between your Ogdo and the Star of David, or the Shield of Solomon. Because the Shield of Solomon is a 2D, a flat picture. It's flat. So when you look at it flat on paper, it's 6 points to it. But if you had it in your hand, it would be 8. Because it takes 8 points to make a tetrahedron. So this is your Shield of Solomon. This is why Solomon was so wise. This is why he had all the women. This is why he had all the money. He knew what was getting ready to happen before it happened. It's also what protected him. Alright? So you know 2 things related to Solomon. And I want you to park them. Wisdom and shield. Protection. Alright? Protection. We're going to talk about that today. What I didn't speak about in Chicago. So, counts. Earlier I was talking about different types of counts. Alright? This is what's important. Very important for us to understand the science of the body, biology, and water. It's called triangle numbers. Alright? So we have to understand that count is not necessarily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count is any frequency of number. So if I count by 2s, that's a count. If I count by 4s, that's a count. If I count by 5, that's a count. You have triangle numbers. And triangle numbers are also outlined in that same tetractys. Every time you end in a triangle, that's a triangle number. So the first dot is a triangle number. Then when you get to the third dot, that's another triangle number because you form another triangle. 1, 2, 3. Now when I add 3 more dots under those 2, 1, 4, 5, and 6, that'll make a larger triangle. And I add the 4 dots under that, which gives me 10, completes the tetractys. Those are all triangle numbers. Alright? These are the frequencies that energies move in between water molecules. Because this is how water molecules are built. Alright? So that's why it's important to know. But we'll park that for a while and just go through some stuff so you can see the significance yourself. The number of man, 666. Right? Pay attention to this. You might want to write it down so you can play with it at home. It's fun, if you like numbers anyway. This is the 36th triangle number. Right? So number 10 is what? The 4th triangle number. 15 is the 5th triangle number. We keep counting to 36. You get to 666. 666 is a triangle number. Now, look, it's deep. It's because 3 6s is right here already. So the 36th number is 666. Numbers don't have coincidences, I promise you. The 666 triangle number is 222111, which is the beginning of your binary coding system. This is your math right here. The 262nd triangle number is 354,453. Now again, Spirit gives you confirmation. 2,662 is called a palindromic number. Palindromic number, excuse me. That means it reads forwards and backwards the same number. So you have 2662 going forward and then 2662 going backwards. So the 262nd 2,662nd triangle number is 354,000, excuse me, 453. I just get excited sometimes with these numbers. But it's palindromic. That's crazy. Right? So we see how the triangle actually squares the planet to the moon. So this is, again, another conversation I'm going to have about the moon being synthetic. Because the moon actually changes the sun's light. And that's why when the moonlight hits folks, especially at full moon, they act a little crazy because the moon acts like a proton donor. So it gets a little crazy. Right? But 6 squared is 36. So we go back to that same number again. Right? The only known triangle number in existence that when squared gives you a triangle number. 6 squared gives you a triangle number. Now, earlier the brother Levi spoke about sound representing color. That same relationship exists between numbers and shape. Numbers and shape. So when you have a 6 being squared, you see, that's a shape. That's a calculation, but it's also a shape. So then you have 6 being squared becoming a triangle. 6 being squared becomes a triangle. No other number does that. All right? Supercomputers calculate that the next triangle number, like this, that's squared, gives you another triangle number, is 660 digits long. 660 numbers. A million is 7 digits. A billion is like what, 9 digits?
9. Yep.
660 digits. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's a long number though. Right? However, 660. That's deep. Right? What does Revelation say? Revelation says 666. Number of man. Right? What does 666 equals? 216. 6 times 6 times 6. 216. Which is 6 cubed. Right? So Brother Levi also spoke about our older systems being interlinked. How do we see that interlinked? Because we see this number in Revelations in the Bible. But we see this number, which is this number multiplied by itself, written on the bottom of Buddha's foot. That's on Buddha's footprint. That's Buddha's footprint. Right? But we'll talk about it a little bit more. Right? And this is also awesome for our brothers that are into the Bible. Because a lot of people don't know this. The unspeakable name of God. Right? The unspeakable name of God. I thought this was incredible. Looking at these numbers. The unspeakable name of God has 72 syllables. 72 syllables. 7 and 2 is 9 again. And it has, guess what? Look, 216 letters. Any rabbi would tell you that. 216 letters. That's the number 9 again. 72 syllables. Number 9 again. And we just seen that right here. On Buddha's foot. Now, where you can find this at, you go right to Exodus and you can find the name. Go to Exodus. Write out Exodus chapter 14, verse number 19. Write it out this way. Directly under that, write verse 20 out, the next verse, backwards, this way. Then write 21 out forwards. Group those 3 like codons in your body. Like the amino acids, set to 3. When you group those 3, not only will it give you the name of God, but it also will give you the name of all the angels when you add the ows and the its.
Yep.
All right? All of this is linked to your biology. So when you're looking at here, this is the amino acid chart overlaid by the Hebrew alphabet chart. And if you look at the top, the table says, this is the table of the occult genetic code. So, what does occult mean again? A lot of times we say this word, but we don't really realize what it means. It just means secret, hidden. That's right. So there's a popular discussion on the genetic code, and then there's a secret discussion on the genetic code. I promise you, Monsanto is using the secret one. I promise you. Right? And what is the secret code? What is the secret genetic code? It says 4 things. It says old yin, young and young yang.
You already know what we
is your math in terms of shapes. This is how your math looks like in terms of shapes. All right? Anytime you take two triangle numbers and you put them together, right? Two sequential triangle numbers, when you put them together, it's going to give you a square. Now, if I told you that with numbers up here instead of the pictures, it'd be complicated. Like triangle numbers, then you gotta start thinking a whole bunch of shit. No, when you see two halves of a square put together, it looks super obvious. Like, why did you put that up there? Because it's very easy to do the math when you use pictures again. Pictures, pictures, pictures. This is why our ancestors used pictures. Pictures is way more better, right? Communicates a lot easier, all right? Now, I use down at the bottom, I'm trying to go as fast as possible, but I use at the bottom the smallest example so you can see how it works. So your very smallest triangle numbers are 1 and 3, right? That's a first and second triangle number. When you add 1 plus 3, it equals 4, right? 4 is the square of 16 and 2 is the square of 4, right? So you have 2 squared being 4. You have a square number from adding 2 triangles. 3 and 6 is 9. That's 3 squared, all right? Just so you see how this works, all right? Now, this is another guy. We've heard about L. L. You hear L everywhere in all of these sacred texts. From the Sumerian to the Biblical to the Phoenician, L. Where's L at in numbers? It's called numens. 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 Numens are L-shaped numbers that you add to square things. That you add to square. An L-shaped number that you add to a triangle to square it. You add an L to a triangle and you square it. But keep saying that. Some people, that's going to hit them in like a week. They're going to fall down. Like, you add an L to a triangle and you square it. Okay? This is why you see this in masonry. The square and the compass. Right? Now let's dip over. I got this from my baby, Tony. She was studying Chinese and showed me this. Daddy, this is deep. This is a break it down. Because when we first started classes in New York, there was a brother that always sit in the back of the class, and whenever you say something, he yell out, break it down! So we always miss Brother Arnold in the back of the lecture, you know what I'm saying? And so big up to Brother Arnold, all right? That's Pam's dad from Martin, all right? He always comes to the lectures on the 25th, all right? But anyway, so my daughter put me onto this because Chinese is her thing, right? And she said, Daddy, look at this. Isn't this that stuff you be talking about? I was like, yeah, that's deep. This is the first ever Chinese hieroglyph. This is the first ever Chinese character, the first ever Chinese letter, ever. This is the first thing that they wrote, this. And this is the letter, Ra. It means sun, light, or word, right? And it's deep, because it's all right there sitting in front of you. It's from the Oracle script. I was like, wow. Damn, I don't even got to do no thinking. They're from the Oracle script, okay. So this right here is from the Oracle script. What else is this? The atom, the circumpump, right? There's a lot of things here.
A circle within a circle.
Circle, the point in the circle, right? Now, here's the translation to this. Now watch the fly part. This is the ancient glyph, and here's the new one. Now don't that look remarkably close to this? Remarkably close to L again. I said, damn.
Ancient Canaanite God.
I said, wow. That's just
Also,
that's just popping up all over the place by itself.
Also, if you remember that article I wrote on L's, your body's actually
Correct.
shaped in L's.
That's right. Angles. Angels. Right? So now look, here we go. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved but for the elects. Alright? This is in the Bible. Sake, those days shall be shortened. Let me read that straight through without the parentheses. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Alright? Now, this is what we want to talk about. Like I said earlier, elect. what is this word? Because we know the English Bible is a translation from multiple languages, right? So we talk about this word right here. This word here is from the original language before the Old Kingdom in Egypt. This is Heru. All right, and it means the elect ones, or Herulan, talking about a group of elected ones. All right. So when we talk about election in the Bible and everywhere else, we're talking about biology. All right, we're talking about biology. So even when we go back here to this ancient Hebrew translation, we see in the glyphs certain things. We see the eye first off. The eye we know of in Egypt was always a pool of water or plasma field. All right, that's there. But we fast forward here to this glyph that was in ancient Egypt. What was the definition of this in ancient Egypt? Mike Brown, right? No? They didn't say Mike Brown in Egypt?
Ka.
Ka?
Yeah.
No, this is Mike Brown. That's not Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Put your hands up.
Mike Brown's in the car.
You have to see magic and ritual when it's happening in front of you. When a European kills a black man, broad day in the afternoon, holding his hand and his body in the Ka position. See, that's how we have to understand our relationship to the planet, because that's a vibration that went through the whole planet. This is why niggas is in China and Africa and Germany protesting Mike Brown killing. They don't know Mike Brown. And the laws that apply to us over here don't apply to them over there. So why are they also protesting? Because they feel it. Right? John 21:11. Notice the binary numbers in the selection, right? Then also notice the musical ratio. I know you see it, Jay.
Yep.
3/2, right here. 3/2, right? In this verse, 7 disciples hooked 153 fish. Why is that significant? 153. Watch this. Watch how fly this is. 1 + 2 + 3 all the way up to 17 equals 153. 153 also equals the factorials laid out from 1 to 5. Factorial is basically everything under that number. All right, so this is what 3 is, for example. 3 is 1 × 2 × 3, which would be 6, right? 153 also equals 1 cubed, 5 cubed, and 3 cubed. Why is that important? Because this is the 17th triangle number. So 153 being the 17th triangle number also is 1 through 17 added up to each other. This is how the numbers don't lie. This is what the Bible's communicating. This is why people like, EnQi, you getting that shit out the Bible? You lying, nigga. I'm like,
go look.
We're not reading the same book.
Right.
I'm reading the book of Numbers. You reading stories about old people. Only thing the same is the title. Because once we open it up, we looking at 2 completely different things. I'm looking at this shit with all the numbers moving around like Neo looking at the Matrix. Somebody else looking at a whole bunch of old stories. Now the question is, how do you think the people that run this planet look at the book when they see it? Because they look in there and create banking systems and governments and all kind of shit to tear your ass up with. We looking in there and don't tell us to do nothing but put $5 in the bucket. Oh, $5. It's time, $5. That's a problem. Right? 2 hands joined. What is that doing? It's all right. All right, do it for me. 2 hands joined. No, the diet works. I'm just saying. A perfect number is one who is the sum total of its divisors. Right? So if you go on YouTube, Minister EnQi has haters. Right? I have to show them. A perfect number is one who is the sum total of his divisors. All right? So the things that would suit to break you down, you got to show them you're bigger than all that. Right? Even in numbers. I'm going to show you how numbers relate to people. You got to hear this. Like now, those who work around the clock. 10 minutes thing. We'll get further. The number of carbon, number 6. Also the number of a hexagram. 6 is the first perfect number. You need to know that. When creating the arc reactor by joining our hands, understand, this is an arc reactor when we join hands. Let me show you how this works. Now wait. What is the first thing that makes contact? These two L's. Right? Come over here with the camera, Jay. Make sure you get this. Right? So they need to see this. Right? You see the hands? All right, so when we come together, the first thing that makes contact is these two L's, which are arcs. Right? We have to see this. It's very simple, and we get so deep sometimes we miss science when it's right in front of us. We're looking for the Ark of the Covenant somewhere weird, right? So this is an arc, right? So we're going to join arcs. And when we do this, this was the oldest form of contract called a covenant. This is the Ark of the Covenant. This is your L. All right. Leave that. We're going to go back. That's the arc reactor also, because that's where the energy leaves your body. So Brother Levi talked about how the energy enters your body through your feet, but the energy leaves your body through your hands. And this is why they do curly in photography with putting your hands on the magnetic mat. Because your hands gives you a reading. This is why also with the diagnostic machine, all we need is one hand, because the energy is leaving your body through your hands. It's very simple. What type of energy? Infrared. We'll get to it. All right? So, the arc reactor. So we talk about the Hadron Collider and all that. They modeled that stuff right off you. Right? So your arc reactor, by joining our hands. Now let's go to the numbers. In each hand you have 14 bones. Each hand you have 14 bones. The second perfect number after 6 is 28. This is why we join our hands in prayer. That is an arc reactor. We're creating energy. All right? 6 and 28, and every single even perfect number are also, guess what? Triangle numbers. We got to get this, right? 6, the number of carbon, the number of gods in creation, the number of the hexagram, triangle number, the first perfect number, right? So we get into 28. Now, this is something deep. I never learned this in school. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. There's a such thing as healthy numbers and sick numbers?
Yes, there is.
I was like, hell no. There's no such thing as healthy numbers and sick numbers. Healthy numbers and sick numbers. They teach them in school called abundant now and deficient. Those are the new names. But these are originally healthy and sick, because numbers talk about people. But you can't learn numbers in terms of people, because then you'll get rich. An abundant number. An abundant number is a number that is larger than the factors that make it up. So the factors are 1, 2, and 4. When you add 1 plus 2 plus 4, yes, you get 7. Mm-hmm. Since 8 is larger than the factors, this is a healthy number. The sick numbers, it's factors, like number 12. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 6.
3 is 6.
Plus 3 equals 6. Plus 4.
10. 16.
Larger than 12, so 12 is sick, it's deficient. So even in the number kingdom, you are what you eat. Right? So let's look at this again. The same tetractors. No, this is not Greece. This is Israel. Okay. Same 10 spheres, same 10 dots. You know why? Because it's the same science. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here, when you look up the Kabbalah, they tell you what the Kabbalah is. You don't even have to figure it out like looking at Pythagoras' thing. They tell you, this is how things go from the spirit to manifestation. Now, where do you see the connection? Simple. You have 10 points. Same exact science, same exact symbols. What else do you have? You have the 22 paths that connect these 10 points, which are the charge variations or the frequencies of charge that they codified into the languages that we know of as Hebrew and Arabic. Same language, written down different.
Thank you.
But a very important one.
And they both come right from the Medu Neter.
Thank you.
Okay? I know we're skipping some stuff, but this is, it's crazy. The video in Chicago, like shit disappeared, so whatever. So, the Egyptians called pools of water or plasma eyes. That's very important to know. Okay, they called them eyes. I need you to get the gravity of that. Any body of water was called an eye in Egypt. Do you get that? Okay, I got like 3 heads saying yes. Okay, you are a body of water. And how do you refer to yourself? Okay. Okay, you better get this. Now, Ching. Okay, it's not Chingy the rapper. It's actually pronounced King. And this is important, right? The pronunciation is King. You gotta get that. Because my father taught me when I was young. That's why I still like to read the way I do. Knowledge is king. He told me knowledge was king and he wasn't even dealing with this. But that's what this is. Books. The definition is king. King means book. So when you look up the word I Ching, it's the I part that's the changes.
iBook.
The king part, it refers to the book. Correct.
iBook. Seriously.
iBook. So now it's a book of plasma. Because plasma makes up the universe. But it's not called the book of plasma, it's called the book of changes. But plasma is always flowing and moving, so it's always changing. So if you can map those changes, you can map the energies as they affect you. If you can figure that out ahead of time, you're in the matrix. This is how people are successful in life and how people are unsuccessful. Successful. The successful people aren't doing shit by happenstance. They're getting a reading ahead of time so that they know what to do, what changes to make. I had a lecture, just passed, went up to Detroit, did the reading before I got there. If I didn't do the reading before I got there, I would have been jammed. Because when I got there, my room was not there. We was homeless in Detroit. They supposed to have my stay set up already. When I get to Detroit, I don't have no room. Confusion. Oh yeah, well, you know, a little confusion setting it up, minister, but you know, confusion, nigga, I'm in Detroit. What? No, I'm here. What am I gonna do? My reading already told me to be prepared for that. So I already had hotel reservations laid out with a discount from somebody that comes to the lecture. Just in case. My reading also told me this is not going to be a financial trip. This is going to be a networking trip. So I had to know in advance to bring money because I wasn't going to get none where I was going. But I needed the money and the reservations all up in Detroit. And I wouldn't have had none of that without my reading. My reading told me to take different clothes when I got to Chicago. Because when I booked the lecture, it was 30 degrees in Chicago. When I got there, it was negative 35. It was my reading that prepared me. Even now, all of my friends, I can take it to a whole other level. All of my friends, and some of them niggas, they follow, so they gonna see. I don't have no felonies on my record. And I was the devil. But I'm Haitian. The things that my father told me, mouth to ear, I utilized. So when things were happening, I wasn't there. Whoop. I was just not there. Oh, damn, such and such just got shot. That was your man, right? Yeah, damn, he should have went with me. Damn, the police just swept the block. Where was you at? In the movies. I'm not there. You know why? Because I have a little... Hey, you probably want to take to the movies. Yeah, you probably want to hit the movies. I hit the movies, come back, something crazy just happened. Okay, so let's get it. Triangle numbers. The blueprint for charge to weave itself into the tapestries we know of as life. Everything we see around us is charge vibrating at different speeds and different densities. Period. Alright? Shape is the finished product on charge because shape denotes function. This is why we had sacred geometry. Alright? Now, when we look at a water molecule, we know water is the basis of life. We have to look up close because basic water molecules form in a triangle shape with that triangle number. And look at the angle between the hydrogen atoms. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 5 is 10. Isn't that the number that all them systems use? 10 dots to explain what's going on with charge? Numbers don't lie. You got the triangle number right here in your water molecule. This is what your body's made up of. Right? Because we heard the story that when we're born, we're 99% water, and as we age, we become less water and this and that. What they don't tell you is because they're speaking to you euphemistically, like an idiot. That's what they do to us. They speak to us in numbers. Your body is always 99% water molecules. Even at 50% water in your body, that's completely beyond dehydrated. That's dead dehydrated. Your body is still 90% water molecules because water molecules are so much smaller than all of the other molecules in your body. That you can have a smaller ratio of water to everything else, but you'll still have more water molecules. So your body's always based water. That is the big secret of Ra. That's the secret of Ra, because when we hear about Ra, we think sunlight. We think utterance, word. That's how we get occult. We think that's the deep part to Ra, the utterance, the spoken word. That's how you create. No. The secret part to Ra is hydrogen. Water comes from the sun, the star, just like light does. Water comes from the star. Hydrogen, that's what we are. Hydrogen people, water-based people. That's the secret to our health, not light, absorbing it, the melanin. No. Melanin's #1 job is to disassociate water molecules. Period. That's the shit that white folks is working on like nobody's business in the laboratory right now. Hydrogen energy. That's what melanin does. Hydrogen energy. Right? And that's infrared. Right? And this is why in the daytime the pool's cold. At night, after the sun goes down, it's warm because it absorbs the infrared part of the spectrum and it radiates that infrared back out. Right? Now, again, we're going to go back to our lovely structure because it also shows us how water molecules structure itself. So now we're talking about the beginning of life in this same 10 space, right? So you're going from tap water, right, which is your basic water molecule, tap water, 2 hydrogens for 1 oxygen. 2 hydrogens for 1 oxygen. Now we go to the next step, which is coherent water or structured water. It's a different type of molecule. You have 3 hydrogens for every 2 oxygens. This is the type of water we need. So this is why people's confused on the acid alkaline. If anybody was here for the last class, I brought the pH acid alkaline tester here and showed that's bullshit. The most alkaline water you can find in any city is tap. The most alkaline water you can find in any city is tap. I done did this in 4 cities to prove it. The most ratchet cities. New York, Detroit, Chicago, and Philly. Philly tap water is an 8.9 alkaline. What?
Yep.
Correct.
No, it's true. Tap
Chicago water is an 8.3 alkaline. New York water is a 9.1 alkaline.
The only issue with the water is the fluoridation. That's
it's
the
not
main
just
thing.
fluoridation. It's mercury and all kinds of shit
Right.
in that water.
That's the main.
So alkaline has nothing to do with whether you're gonna be healthy or not.
Nope.
It's what's in the water. What is that water made out of? But alkaline is shit they sold to people who don't know science.
It's a hoax.
Because anybody that knows science would know pool water is alkaline. When you go to the swimming pool and Mexicans got their babies shitting in the water, everybody in the water peeing, including me and you, right? When you take a cup of that and test it, that's alkaline water. With diapers and shit and piss floating around. That is alkaline water. See? Niggas is getting hustled. Oh yeah, get this alkaline water. So now you buying bottles of water for $5 because the nigga told you it's alkaline. What does alkaline mean? I don't know. It's alkaline. It's alkaline. Sadie says alkaline. I don't know. Say it's alkaline. That nigga's confused. This is why I don't give people exact answers. Professor Griffin was on me last week. I was on the radio with them. Like, yo, brother, you gotta give exact answers. I'm like, nah. Exact answers cripples niggas.
Yeah, it does.
You ask me about water and I say, oh, well, I drink Fiji. Most people is gonna be like, oh yeah, no, Minister EnQi drinks Fiji. That's the shit. So when they go to a supermarket and there's no Fiji, they gonna be like this, damn. Damn, EnQi don't even answer his phone. I'm in the supermarket right now trying to get some water. I don't know what to do.
Get some water.
There's no Fiji here.
Get some water.
Like, nigga, you call me about what? No, see, that's why I don't do that. I give you the science on what water is and how your body uses it, so now you can make an informed decision anywhere. What if the supermarket's closed? And niggas got to go back to well water. We got to go back to dowsing for water. We really in trouble. Most people don't even know what dowsing for water is. That's old school, where you had to find where the water was underground and dig your own well to it. Now we get lucky if we find well water. No, the well water means that somebody else doused for water and found good clean water. So you drinking somebody else's shit. Well, when we got to go and do that for ourselves, then the people were like, oh, where's the EnQi workbook at? I gotta learn this energy. No, too late then. You gotta learn now.
Since the faucet water is dirty, is it okay to boil it? Would that help?
Nope.
Still in
In
there.
an emergency situation, it's okay to boil. But you don't want to boil on a regular basis because boiling condenses everything that's in it. So last week, I bought two things. I bought a yellow pH tester so we could test the pH and alkalinity. But anybody that was here seen I also brought my blue tester, which was parts per million tester. That tests what's in your water dissolved in it. So you can look and see, like, obviously water's clear. You put 3 cups next to each other and they might all have, for argument's sake, 8 alkalinity. They're all the same alkalinity. You put that ppm tester in there, you'd be like 300 parts per million, 50 parts per million, 800 parts per million. What the hell is this? What is the 800 parts per million? What is that stuff that's in there? What is the 50 parts? 50 parts per million of what? Of bleach, of mercury, of fluoride, of urine from the nigga that got AIDS in the next building, of feces from the lady upstairs that got cancer and she take all kind of
medication.
Yeah, all that chemo and all that shit. Because it all goes in the public drinking water. And I found out something crazy when I was in Texas. States are trading the waste as fertilizer.
Yep.
This is the specific from a brother that worked at the water treatment facility in Texas, Houston, for 50 years. He said, yo, you'll never figure out what we do with the waste. You're wrong about one thing, because I was down here doing a lecture, and I said they don't get rid of anything out of the water. He was like, no, you're wrong, brother. I'm going to save that for you for the end. So at the end of the lecture, he was like, no, I'm going to tell you what we do with the waste. We dry it all out, and we ship it to Florida. And they use all the waste from Houston as fertilizer in Florida. I said, wait a minute. So you're talking that sciencey talk. I need you to translate that. Are you telling me that everybody in Florida is eating Houston people's shit?
Yep. Yep.
He said, yes, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Either that or
I
animal.
was like, see, that's how we need to hear it. Black folks need to hear people in Florida are eating Houston people's shit.
Either that or
Because
animal.
somehow that translates differently than, well, brother, we take the dehydrated waste and we actually go ahead and cycle it through to the farmers in Florida where they go ahead and incorporate that into the structure of their crops. Niggas is like, all right. Like, now, you gotta get your science shit up so you can hear what these niggas are saying at full speed time. Niggas in Florida are eating shit from Houston. Like, whoa. This is that science, this is that other language shit. So you think it just happens when you on the train, niggas speaking Spanish, you don't know what's happening. No.
This is that.
Sometimes they could be speaking English, but a technical form of it, because every job has one. Electricians, they using words in English, but it ain't the same as you outside. Everybody's got that. You gotta get this shit. Life, technical science, right? This is what a structured water molecule looks like, all right? And this is why this is so important, because a structured water molecule is a hexagon. It has 6 sides. That same perfect number, that same number of the hexagram, because this is how energy radiates throughout biology.
What's the best way to structure water?
The best way to
Mama
structure
Thomas.
water. Correct. That is the easiest way to do it.
Say it again.
Mama Thomas.
Is Annie here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have Mama Atomics, I have Genesis, Fusion, Magnet. I got all the liquids. Actually, I don't. I don't have. Yeah, I do. I got
all of them.
I do. I got all of them in the back. But there's natural means you can do too. So you can use Now here's the thing. People, especially black folks, we do the do-it-yourself shit at the wrong time. We're the masters of that at the wrong time. So for instance, me, take me for example, I like to talk about me. I go to get me some sneakers, I like to find a nice pretty girl in there, and then, what you got in size 10, baby? You know, I already know what I want to buy. I already knew that before I got there, but you know, I'm gonna take my time with them. They're service me. You know, I want to get the full experience, right? We're that way with superficial things. When it comes to the quality, we want a shortcut. Yo, you know, I seen this dude did some yoga thing, and I'ma just figure. No. To master yoga or some tantric science, that takes 7, 10, 12 years. Niggas want to read half a book and watch 2 YouTubes, and then they're masters. Half a book. We read like to the 2nd chapter, and it said, "Oh shit, it's on YouTube." Got it. Done. Oh my God. This is his first time. You calling niggas up and still in position. Yo, son, this shit crazy. No. I mastered it. Now I can move around like this. No. It's easy. No, I'm gonna roll up. Getting crazy with it.
Roll up.
Roll up. That's the next thing happens. Anything good happens in black person life. The next thing is rolling up. Yo, I just had a baby. We gotta roll up. Yo, I just mastered yoga. We gotta roll up. This EnQi shit is crazy. This nigga talking about science shit. We gotta roll up. That's what we do. And that's cool. I used to do that watching Phil Valentine and Delbert Blair. And I realized, I was like, yo, something's wrong with this shit. There's a disconnect between what we call a movement and what Malcolm called a movement. Martin, or the greatest, Marcus Garvey.
My man.
And the reason is because we don't deal with science anymore. See? Because if we deal with science, guess what happens for us to call a movement? We have to be moving. You see, when you're sitting down rolling up, there's no movement happening. No progress. Niggas are the opposite of movement. We're the stagnant. Movement is moving. Even if niggas didn't even know the right thing to do. Still moving. Look at Selma. Right? We're marching. No, we're marching. Get all the way up there to the front. Ah, we're not marching. Damn it, take it back.
Gotta keep moving.
But we were moving. And progress came from movement.
Yes, it did. Always does.
Right?
Don't get into the hamstring.
So, right in time with your question. Right in time with your question, I show a video on how I structure water with Mama Atomics. But that's online, it's on the website. You can see it. We don't have 15 minutes to wait to watch the video, but it's up there. Alright, so we're moving. Remember the tetractors we've been looking at. This is the quote-unquote Jewish one. Everybody's using your thing. Jewish folks run Hollywood, entertainment, sports, all that with this. With this. And even today, while you got niggas strapped with bombs, explode. No, we live in Israel. Boom. There's no pyramids there. No. Niggas exploding with no pyramids. Where they using this stuff?
Where'd they get it from?
Right? And then we come around and we look even stupider. We look like the most stupidest people on the planet. That's why nobody respects black folks. We're the biggest jokes internationally. Because we pop out, yeah, we created this first. We did it first. We made it.
And we ain't doing nothing with it.
And then everybody step back and be like, all right, nigga, well, show me how it works. We be like, we ain't got there yet. And white folks got to move you out the way. Excuse me. Yeah, we know. You made it, right? Right. Okay, now you take this and you put this in here. Boom, light. Oh, shit. Man, white man is God? Maybe the white man is God.
Oh, God, man.
He knows how to use all our shit. We don't.
That's not good.
We left tools. When the black man was God, God had tools. That black man is no longer here, however, he still left his tools. Now, we can pick them up and start using them again, or we can just watch and be unhappy and hate from the sideline as the people that are using them are enjoying them. Damn, as the women look nice. Man, that car seemed warm and stuff. Man, they live in them big old houses, huh? Sure don't want me one of those. I like the projects.
right?
Oh, they eating that
Glorified
clean,
earth,
good
right?
food. No. To hell with that food. That's uppity. No, we go to churches. Right? High five, nigga. We don't want none of that lifestyle. We keeping it real.
Roll up.
Roll up. That's right. We got laugh at these rich niggas. Roll up. Alright? We can forget full drugs. We can forget all the shit we're living in. Forget we're responsible for getting ourselves out. Alright? So look at their science. Alright? When you break it down, it gives you all of the names of God. All of the numbers in the Bible. And they culminate at your number 9. And here's the original. Just so you see, the original. We need to see that. Anybody besides Levi, tell me who does not belong here.
Nephthys.
Wrong.
Jeb.
No, Jeb belongs.
Don't you say another thing, Jason. You're on video.
You ain't had to say my name. It could have been secret.
Now everybody knows. Damn, Jay don't know Minister EnQi information. That's why my pastor ain't
Not
come
all of it. He just read it.
Correct.
What?
Horus doesn't belong.
Really?
Yeah.
Horus is the child of
Right.
Isis and Osiris. Remember, and it's cool that everybody gets confused when we see this because that was the purpose of this. That's why Greeks got rid of the original Egyptian names and created theirs. So when you see Osiris, no, that's not the Egyptian or Cometian version. That's the Greek rendition. Set, Greek rendition. Isis, Greek rendition. Nephthys, Greek rendition. Gad, Nut, Tefnut, Shu. Alright? All of these are Greek renditions. Except for the Atum. I guess that was just too powerful to change. Right? But now, so we're familiar with this. We're going to skip through this. This is what we've been taught of in school everywhere else. Right? Here's the problem. I found out a big secret. Scientists don't use this. See? I showed you earlier. Europeans have 2 eyes, so they think linear. But linear is not real life. It's 2-dimensional. It's on paper. Real life is 3D, so your electromagnetic spectrum is more like this. So this is what we will use in the EnQi course and in the Black Genetics course for biology. The cycle. And if you notice, in the cycle, what you have is the black giving birth to the infrared. The infrared feeds all biology on the planet. As this energy gets used and dispersed throughout the rest of creation, the size particle of it shrinks. As it shrinks, as most things do, when they get smaller, they get lighter and they move faster. As we get to the color of royalty in Egypt, you get UVB, which is why it's the color of royalty, because this is the part of the spectrum that culminates in your skin.
That and gold.
This is what produces your vitamin D, your testosterone, your estrogen, regulates your reproductive organs. This guy right here.
Is that around the indigo? Is that the indigo around indigo frequencies?
Correct.
Indigo people?
Correct. Indigo children. Come on. That's why I said everybody except Levi. Levi's a ringer. What do you say in class? I don't know, but in sports it's a ringer. Alright? So, infrared, the breast milk of the universe. Alright? We got to get that. Dark plasma. Alright? Now, I need y'all to have my back. Why do I need y'all to have my back? Because niggas likes to steal Minister EnQi shit and say it's theirs. So, Minister EnQi is the first man on earth, well, at least in our written time, that is renaming the lungs. So when you hear them try to do it somewhere else, remember that's the EnQi shit, right? Because all our lives we've been taught that the lungs were an organ. And I used to teach that all the time. Now I finally figured out, because it used to bother me. Like I used to say when I run through the body, I'd be like, yeah, and you got to work out. You know, we talk about muscles, because a lot of people just think about your arms, chest, whatever, but your internal organs are also muscles. So I used to always say, no, all your organs are muscles. But I put the disclaimer, because niggas like to debate everything, I'd be like, except for your lungs, which are not a muscle group, they actually depend on the diaphragm, which does the muscle work for the lungs. So it bothered me that the lungs is considered an organ, but it's not made of muscle tissue, like everything else. Then find out till much later that the lungs are not an organ because they secrete a fluid / hormone. And anything that secretes something is a gland. The lungs secrete DMT. You see? And this is why niggas likes to roll up. Because the rolling up stimulates DMT release from the lungs.
Does it secrete more DMT than the pineal gland?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. The pineal gland has not even been proven to secrete DMT. They find traces of DMT in the pineal gland, which is what made scientists think that it was produced there. Because they seen it being utilized there, and they found the residues there. But it's not. Correct. It's produced in the lungs. So they are looking into whether it's also produced there or whether it's just produced in the lungs and then cycled there. But it's a fact. It's definitely secreted in the lungs.
What brings on the secretion?
Roll up! Actually, people moving to Colorado because Minister EnQi does not recommend anyone break the laws in their local municipality anywhere. Say no to drugs. I have to put that on video.
Oh, sure.
Niggas would be cutting it like, no, Minister EnQi said. Like, no, I sell herbs, not those herbs.
EnQi,
The other kind.
are you getting to? You going to talk about the part where each number is connected to an organ?
It will be in the class. It won't be in today's. In fact, I'm glad you said that,
Right.
so I can skip some of these slides and get to the meat and potatoes because it's 5 o'clock. So we gotta wrap up. All right. So this is the oldest depiction of structured water. All right. A lot of people like to attribute it to white folks, and that just shows their lack of study. Right. So if Masaru Emoto or Gerald Pollack is your entry point for structured water, you are very understudied and very new to this. All right. Your entry point should be this woman, Mona Harrison. All right. This is the woman that they all got it from. And I just showed you the original source. All right. That's why Geb, God of the Earth, is laying down because he's structuring the plasma around the planet, which is what protects the planet. And it's our structured hydrogen that covers this planet. That's what gives us an atmosphere. So if a planet is not hydrophilic, meaning it doesn't structure water, it won't have an atmosphere. That's the difference between our planet and others. All right? And this is what our magnetosphere looks like. This is our planet, and this is the plasma around it that protects us. Right? This is the plasma around it that protects us. The same thing that they're doing in laboratories now. They're taking a hydrophilic surface and realizing that that hydrophilic surface, the electrons, I should say, impregnates that plasma with charge, and that charge structures the water. Right? So now these racist SOBs are talking about quote-unquote hydrophilic surfaces or hydrophilic material structuring water, right? When what they should be talking about is melanin. But they're not going to say that. Okay? So you got to get that. All right? All right, so we won't talk about the structure of the atmosphere here. I've already slapped that guy in Chicago. No. This is Wiley Brooks. Anybody heard of him before?
Yeah, I heard.
What y'all know about Wiley Brooks?
Breatharian.
Breatharian. Who knows the breatharian system?
I know part of it.
What? Say it. Go ahead.
Well,
The beginning part. What is the beginning part? How do you set up your body to begin to be a breatharianism based on Wiley Brooks?
Based on Wiley Brooks, don't eat.
No.
No.
That's not.
I think he just stared at the sun. Something like that.
You gotta eat McDonald's.
Boom!
Really?
What?
This nigga's crazy.
What'd he say?
And he is the father of breatharianism in America and Europe. You have to eat double cheeseburgers and Coca-Cola exclusively for 30 days, and then your body will be in the 5th dimension. At which point, your body will no longer need gross material to feed itself. You can live off air. You see? And people don't understand where. That's why I follow money. Because the first thing I say is, where is this nigga's funding coming from?
Gotta be McDonald's.
How's he making a living with that story? Right? Because he got to pay rent too. How does he pay his rent with that story? You eat cheeseburgers and Coca-Cola 30 days straight, and then you're going to be immortal in the 5th dimension.
That's just good.
McDonald's is paying for that. That's a huge plug.
He's the father.
Then they had him on NBC, squatting 500 pounds. Like, no, look, this is serious. I haven't eaten anything but cheeseburgers in the longest. Like, look how strong I am. Look my man up. Crazy shit. And because we don't know that the secret of Ra is water, hydrogen, we think it's sunlight, we think that's the star of the show. Sun gazing and breatharianism, all that's not the deal. The sun is powerful, the light is powerful because it structures the water, but it's about the water. If we're sun gazing, this is how stupid we look when we don't know this science. I just gotta tell you that way. We're sun gazing and sun bathing in dehydrated bodies. That is creating chronic inflammation throughout your body. It's not making us healthier. It's making chronic inflammation.
Gotta eat right.
Right? So we gotta see that. Alright? So, water. The basics. Living water is paramagnetic. That means charged. That's important because when we talk about the hexagram and the EnQi system, you have to understand that the composition represents paramagnetic and diamagnetic ley lines across the planet. These are the energy grid of the planet you live in. The lines are either paramagnetic or diamagnetic. Ferromagnetic just comes from iron. Alright, because iron comes from space. Anyway, so living water. This is the water you should drink. This is everyone's answer. What kind of water you should drink, Minister EnQi? Living paramagnetic, meaning charged, mineral dense, spring structured water. Now wherever you can find that, get you some. However you can get closest to this, get you some. So if you can't get structured, charged, mineral dense, living paramagnetic water, but you can settle for some spring for 88 cents from the supermarket. That's where we at. If you can use some magnets and charge it a bit, that's where we at. If we can add some minerals to it, that's where we at. But this is the ideal. We're gonna stay away from dead, uncharged, no mineral water. So can water be alkaline and be dead? Yes. Can water be alkaline and be diamagnetic? Yes. Can water be alkaline and have no minerals? Yes. Can water be alkaline and have no charge? No. The fact that it's alkaline means it has a charge. But all charge is not good for you. Only negative ions. Positive charge is a free radical. Be careful. So it's not all charge. Distilled water is dead. Reverse osmosis water is dead. So when you see bottles that says reverse osmosis water, no, that's dead water.
Quick question. The machine that sold for $5,000, that pulls air, or pulls water from the air,
The one that pulls water from the air. I gotta play with it. You like the third person that mentioned it to me, but I haven't seen it yet. So the science is correct. There's hydrogen in the atmosphere, there's oxygen in the atmosphere. I don't know the system of the machine and how it works, so I can't really go in on it. So anybody at home who wants to donate their machine that pulls water from the air to the ministry, do that. We can play with that. Or just bring it in and loan it to us for a month. We'll never give it back, I promise. Ever. Alright, so, real quick. Alright, move. The atmosphere is cooler at night. You have to understand this. Why? Because it is filled with positive ions. We gotta get this. In the daytime, it's warmer because of the negative ion density. We have to understand this in terms of energies being redirected down to our bodies. Alright? Now this right here, folks been killed for. So I'm gonna skip it. No, just kidding. Folks have been killed for this stuff. This is the formula for free energy. And free energy is very simple to make. Stick 2 electrodes in water, you run electricity through the water, you get hydrogen gas. This is what they're working on in laboratories. Now, that hydrogen gas comes along with energy that can be harnessed. And the fly part is all you have to do is then run that same current back through the hydrogen gas and it turns back into water. So you have unlimited free energy forever. Anybody with a damn Duracell battery and 2 copper wires can do this. $5 in Radio Shack get you in business. You start producing your own energy. You be Con Edison. Right? So, these are our water molecules. Right here. I mean, our circle 7. No, just kidding. Our circle, no, actually I'm not kidding. This is the circle 7. See, in your biology. Right? This right here, when we stack these water molecules up, this is what they look like face down. When we turn them sideways like this, and we stack them one on top of the other, right? This is where they start to get, all right, this is where we get a closer look, right? But I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to come back to these. I know. This is what they look like when you stack them on top of each other. This is how they chronicle because they map. This is a map of the flow of energy. So when Brother Levi was telling you that these openings are how energy moves through, you need to know that. Because energy moves from the earth up into your body. Right? And even in Egypt, I'm not going to go through this all the way, but even in Egypt, the glyphs are there to tell us that. The word Akhet. This is flood, your seasonal flood. This is also Akhet, which is your horizon. So what do you have there? The eye, the same thing, bodies of water. But this is also your light body. Ak. Okay. Maybe that one doesn't. Oh, why do pregnant women eat ice? I know, they all want to know. Ice is structured water. So the easiest way to structure water is to freeze it. Problem with that though, you don't have the fluidity to remove all the toxins, because structured water removes toxins. When you freeze it, it freezes the toxins and the other chemicals in it. So although you have the structure for energy to move through this, the infrared still flows through this, you still have whatever else is in there. So you're still going to have frozen mercury, chloride, fluorine, or whatever's crazy. But this is why pregnant women love ice. Because the energy in ice is way higher than regular water. And the baby requires that energy to develop. So they're going to be on it. Right? Right? And look at our water molecules. In order to line up in a hexagonal shape, they also form a Star of David while they're doing that. Your water molecules, look, your oxygen and your 2 hydrogens. As they coming together to form that larger new molecule of structured water, you also see Solomon's shield right there. Right? Which I told you was a 2-dimensional of the tetrahedron. Right? So we talk about hydrophobic amino acids, hydrophilic amino acids, because these are guys that structure water. Right? These are guys that structure water. Right? I put this post on Facebook and I had like 300 comments. I said we're going to talk about it in class, but no, we don't have time to. 300 comments is too long for us today. All right? Now, here's our MRA machine. This lovely guy right here. Right? Everybody's like, well, this thing, I got to get my diagnostic done. Good, but this is how it works. All right, so people can stop asking me. All right? MRIs use the body's natural magnetic properties to produce detailed images from any part of the body. For imaging purposes, the hydrogen nucleus, which is a single proton, is used because of its abundance in water and fat. All right? So that's what these machines do. The only difference between an MRA and an MRI is our machine uses pictures, like our people did, to convey information, instead of the analysis using words, right? Make it easy for simple people, right? So when the body is placed in a strong magnetic field, such as an MRI scanner, the proton axes all line up, and this gives a picture. Now, this is how you can check the frequency and see the health of the body, organs, tissues, etc., because they're measuring the protons in the water. All right? Very simple. No, it's not very simple, but you're making a lot of money. It's your science. Right? Capillaries. This is how your blood moves through your body. Capillaries are very small. They're actually smaller than the actual blood cells themselves. But capillaries are the most hydrophilic surface in your body, or one of the most. And because of that, it structures the water and pushes the water molecules. So when you have blood clots forming, your body's losing the ability to structure water. That's why it can't move. It's becoming stagnant. All right? This is what's happening in your body. So can chemicals make your body more hydrophilic? No, they cannot. Wait, you said yes, Minister EnQi? Yes, I did not say no. Okay. We need to figure that out. Now, all of that to get us around to what I want to talk about today. Earthing. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this in a few slides and then we're going to wrap up. I'm going to take a few questions and we're going to close out for today's Sunday school. Alright, but this is the star of the show. This is what I wanted to talk about. Because everybody wants to get deep into something that is cost value. Right? And although I love to sell people stuff, you don't have to buy stuff to be healthy. This is the easiest cure for inflammation. The easiest cure for inflammation is to connect back with the planet. See, all these years we've been told the wrong shit by our favorite scholars. Right? Because what they told us, how do you reset the body? Meditation. That's incorrect. You do not reconnect the body through meditation. Or maybe I should say, you can only reconnect your body through proper meditation.
There we go.
But proper meditation is not taught because nobody teaches that you have to be in contact with the earth in order to be meditating. You cannot meditate in your house. You cannot do it. You're not connected to the earth that way. I'm coming around. But you cannot do that. You have to be connected to the earth. That's why people's meditating, oming like it's nobody's business and nothing's happening. You're opening your eyes, realizing, oh shit, damn, same bills waiting for me. Same angry wife, same mad-ass kids. Nothing changed. Only thing happened is you just killed 20 minutes. You're doing it incorrectly. You have to be in connect with the planet. Why? That is your reference point. Everybody on this planet, your electrical reference point is the planet. You have a coffee machine in your house. Coffee machine start acting crazy. First thing you do is unplug it. Your cell phone goes crazy. The first thing you do is power it down. 9 out of 10 times, power it back up, just working fine. Why did it need a reset? It has to go back to its reference point. You're supposed to do that every day. It's never supposed to be a 24 hours where you don't reset. The only way your body resets is by touching back to the planet. All of the energy that radiates down to the planet digests and re-radiates that energy back out in the form of free negative ions, aka electrons. The moment your feet make contact with the planet, all those electrons go up into your body throughout your body, getting rid of all the free radicals that's causing oxidative stress, which is the cause of 80% of today's diseases. That's free shit. You don't need any herbs from Minister, Jehudi, nobody. Feet in the grass, real grass. What I mean by real grass? In New York. See, I thought I was deep with it. I was like, no, I'm connected to the planet. I know what I'm doing. No. New York, they got subways everywhere. So meanwhile, I'm thinking I'm connected to the planet. The park wasn't connected to the planet. The park was on top of a subway. So you think you're connected to the planet, no, you're connected to dirt. You gotta be on a real park. That there's nothing under that park but planet. You gotta be on the earth. And transfer happens.
Now I was gonna say something real quick because from what I learned in my studies.
Hold on, Jay. That's why I said hold on. Now, there's a frequency to this energy. There's a frequency to this energy. Rounded off, it's the number 8. It's 7.8. And that frequency moves a little bit, but it's always near the number 8. That is the natural frequency of the planet. Your body is tuned to this. This is how dolphins communicate. This is the Schumann resonance. Number 8, again. Now, this is how birds navigate the planet. Birds navigate the planet because they're following this energy grid. We can't even find our way across the damn city now without GPS. Why? Why? Because there's a specific type of iron that's required for your brain to function like this. This is why this is also health. Like, Minister, we wanted to hear about some health shit. You getting too deep. No, this is health. This is why the birds can do this and you can't. They have a higher concentration of this type of iron in their brain than you. It's called magnetite. You have magnetite and maghemite in your brains. These are 2 different types of iron, and neither one of those is the iron that your blood cells use. So you think you need iron just for your blood. No, you need iron for all types of shit in your body. Iron is the magnetism force. So in your brain, you have to have these 2 types of iron. Well, Minister, where can we get those? From this guy. He's down on 5th note. You can get them from the minister, right? This is up close though. Look, this is up close. I want y'all to see. This is human brain tissue. Under the microscope. Minister EnQi does not teach pie in the sky, 5th dimension shit. This is under the microscope, brain tissue. This is these irons as they're at work in your brain. And they're not in your diet. This is why niggas are getting dumb. We can't remember anything. We don't have the nutrients. We don't even know what they are.
Right.
So this is what it's called. A Nancy's gift. Now anybody that's been following me for a while, they know. I rarely ever have a Nancy's gift in stock because it's very hard to find plants that have these minerals in them. Right? It just so happens that I have this in stock now. Not in the store, but we have the herbs in the house so people can go online. It'll be here in the store probably like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then everybody can just go crazy. But we have the herbs in the house. We just got to put it together. So we do have a Nancy's gift, which will probably be gone the next couple of weeks if people buy it like for the year. Right? Because it's going to be hard to find again. But it has both of those, the magnetite and the maghemite plant form in the compound to get those minerals into the brain, to get this synthesis happening. Alright? So we got to get this. Also, it's important to get that iron in there because they function in your pyramidal cells. Damn, pyramids in the brain? Pyramidal cells, yes! And they also need that iron to function. And these are the guys that protect you from seizures, fits, epilepsy, that damn MSG in your neurons, all of that. Alright? You have astrocytes, glial cells, and these guys. Alright? And who is this? This is a Nancy, correct. Can't use her name without showing you who this is. This is another ancient African concept of the creator god. Goddess, I should say. Right? And this was into the Dogon mythology, etc. And even into the Ogdo. Right? Because you see. Right? Now, what is significant about a spider? Right? The spider weaves a web, right? I'm going to show you what's significant about a spider. A spider looks exactly like an electromagnetic field. This is what an electromagnetic field looks like. So now, let me go back and show you to tell you the African creation story. This is one of the oldest creation stories on earth. It says Anansi created or gathered all the world's information and held on to it.
I'm breathing. That's good.
Locked up for the winter, waiting on the summer. Just checked in my new whip.
All information transmitted is charge. The electromagnetic spectrum does that. So our ancestors weren't making up something, right? And when you look at a spider, how many legs does a spider have? 8. 8. So you're going back to that same number, and this is what it looks like. Your electromagnetic field. This is where the story comes from. Right? This is how, and we'll talk about, that's going to be a little bit down, maybe a couple months. We talk about how electrons become magnetic. Right? And then we talk about also, because I want people to have technical information from the workbook, so we talk about how charge and magnetism moves. This is a mnemonic device they teach you in school.
Electricity.
That's right. So if the current is moving this way, the magnetism is moving that way, and the motion, all right. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But what is important to talk about? Electromagnetism in real life. This is what attracts people to each other. This is what attracts people to each other. Personal magnetism. Personal magnetism. The electricity in your body wants to merge with someone else's. That merging takes you back to the original moment in time. What is that? What is that first time? The first time.
First encounter.
The Zep Tepi. Okay. The first time. Every time we connect. See, that's why it's connecting. When you connect, you bridge that gap and you go back. See? This is why this is important to understand. What is your life force in your body? Electricity, right? Okay. So let's see, let me show you why this is important. Because, let's say I convince everybody on the planet I'm the most attractive thing for smoking. What that means is attractive. That means you programmed yourself, because you think I'm the most attractive, to send me all of your life energy, all of your life force. That's what attraction is. That's what attention is. Your perceptive awareness being directed into a certain direction. So now, if the global standard of beauty is European, I have just directed the entire planet's life force energy towards me, the European. This is magic. It's highest form. They teach it in science class though, so we miss it. We miss it. Big bang take little bang. What is that also called in science? Magnetic induction.
Weak and strong forces.
That's right. And you can see this at play in your personal life. For instance, you got your little circle. Maybe it's 4 or 5 of y'all hang out every day, whatever. Whoever's the loudest, strongest person in that group has the largest magnetic field. The other people that hang around that person will adopt that person's language, characteristics, style of stand, dress. They're going to start talking like them. People around you are going to be like, damn, you know, you're talking just like Kenny all of a sudden. You sound just like Kenny. Because Kenny's magnetic field is swallowing yours, reprogramming your body cells, just because you're in the vicinity of Kenny. Big bang take little bang. This is why when you look at stars, big celebrities, what do they talk about? Their magnetic personality, because their height, their career, the star, remember, the Egyptian, the entire Cometian science is how a person becomes a star again. Sometimes we miss that. Star, right? People that did not have the biology for that transformation created a synthetic form where you can be a star and stay on the planet. Be a star here is determined by how many people you can magnetize to you. Okay, it's all science. Gotta get it. You gotta magnetize them dollars, right? This is what it looks like. Even in corporate America, they pay big money. I used to listen. I used to work at Verizon. I used to bring in these big names. To Anthony Robbins and all these dudes that come in. They pay these dudes like $100,000. We tell niggas 20 at the door. We tell niggas 20 at the door. They like, 20 at the door. They pay these dudes $100,000 to come in and speak for like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. What are they saying? What they're saying is getting the people charged so they can go out and do what they need to do. They're charging the people, right? They're charging the people. No, they're charging the people. See, word games, right? You can be a prophet or you can make a profit. All right. Homosexuality and antimatter. We gotta see this. The rise in homosexuality over the past 30 years in the public has been mocked in the private by the study of antimatter. As long as they've been studying antimatter, homosexuality has been on the rise. Why? Because devoting attention to antimatter is the scientific way of devoting attention to homosexuality.
Hello, non-believers out there. This is Sunday school.
What is antimatter? Antimatter is a particle that annihilates itself with the same particle. So it's an electron that wants to bond with another electron. It's a confused ass electron. Like, wait a minute. Ooh, electrons, you looking. The other electron is like, hell no, wait, I'm looking for a proton. I gotta get out of here. So they attack and annihilate one another. Antimatter. This is scientific homosexuality. Kid you not. If we don't see this stuff on a scientific level, it'll wind up in your community. So we see the blast of homosexuality and all we can say is soy. Okay. Better watch all these synthetic magnetic fields we walking in and out of because they're changing your body's chemistry.
Electric cage.
The light, that's right. The lights, the computers, all this shit changes your electromagnetic programming in your body. And the way you reset that on a regular basis is by connecting back to the planet. Which we never do. White folks have went to great lengths to stop you from doing that. They've coated damn near most of the planet with synthetic shit,
especially
pavement,
the
concrete.
cities.
Then put shoes on you and change your shoes from the shoes you used to naturally make. Change them gradually over time because niggas get forgetful. So they don't do it overnight. The moccasins didn't become sneakers overnight. The moccasins went from leather bottoms. Leather is a conductive material. The electricity still flows through the leather bottoms. Then they went to the hardwood bottoms, which is less conductive but still conductive. But it's no more comfortable. Once they went from leather to wood. Then they went to the rubber, because now the rubber is comfortable. See, that's how they play games with you to give you a problem, which the only solution is there's some shit they wanted you to do initially, but they couldn't get you to do it by asking you straight up. Hey, put on these rubber shoes. I'm like, hell no. Why would I do that? Disconnect me from the planet. No. So they didn't jump you from moccasins to rubber shoes. They jumped you from moccasins to wood, so you create a problem. Damn, this shit hurt. God damn, somebody gotta figure this out. This is killing me. Got these guys. Oh my God, I love those. Give me those. Same shit we seen 9/11. If they would have said, hey, we want to tap everybody's phones, smart, everything. We want to tap everything. We'd be like, hell no. Scared you up. It's gonna blow you up. Al-Qaeda, they live next door, they're in the corner store, they're everywhere. It's like, check everything, damn it. As long as I'm safe. Problem, reaction, solution.
Dialectics.
That's right. So we gotta look at this. Right? Because I say this, I say God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, then I'm looking crazy. Right? But it's science. Right? This is how your crystal lattice structures become magnetic. Your electrons have to line up. So even in the material, it has to be structure for electrons to move. Even in atoms have to have structure. All right, so we're going to skip through some of this technical. In fact, let me see. Runes. Right. I'm definitely not going to start the runes conversation. Because that's going to get too crazy. Blood work. All right, no blood work. All right, questions? Yes, cocaine has the same carbon ring structure as coffee. So if you're drinking coffee every day, you're a cokehead. Next question. That is correct. My niggas can't get rid of it. I had a sister in Chicago, she said, well, what if I get the Ethiopian coffee? You know, the pure one. I said, then you're Tony Montana.
Well, hold on. How about organogold?
Organogold is worse than Tony Montana, because now you got pure coffee mixed with pure mushrooms. All you did was increase the nitrogen content. And that's the similarity between coffee and cocaine. There's the purine substances in there. The nitrogen content. That's why coffee and cocaine both keep you wired. The nitrogen. Right? talk about melanin absorption. All right, so questions.
Yeah, I had one about when you were saying being connected to the earth, but
yes,
from what I learned, the only way to stay connected, truly stay connected to the earth entirely with your foot, is to have your foot connected to soil or to sand. Grass will actually not. I just want to make that clarified.
Grass is not as conductive, but it's still conductive.
By quite a bit.
You're still getting more than you're getting in Jordan.
Okay, well that is
niggas
true.
are tackling each other and killing each other for.
Right.
Right. So yeah, you want to take it 11.
Sand is the best.
Yeah, but sand is the best because
Just to
sand
let
is
you guys
silicone,
know.
which is silica, which is basically ground quartz crystals. So when you walk on the beach, you're
Like
walking
rock.
on crystals, which are the same crystals that your bones are made of. All right, and to go even deeper, quartz crystal is what's called piezoelectric, meaning every time it vibrates, it creates electricity. So that's the Black Panther shit from the cartoon they were talking about, the vibranium. That's quartz, silica. That's what your bones are made out of, right? But there's different types of minerals besides calcium we can use to replace the structure, like strontium. Strontium is weighs 14 times strong as calcium. It does everything calcium does. But we're not on strontium. Why? Because then we'd be walking around like fucking avatars. So white folks say, hey, calcium. You need calcium, 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 not strontium. Where can you get strontium at, Minister EnQi? And Minister EnQi's Mama Atomics, Fusion, Magnet, it's all in there. That's why it's 90 minerals in there. White folks tell niggas they need 12.
90
I'm
plus.
like, yo, damn, we gotta go back in numbers. 90 minus 12 means I will forever be nutrient deficient. That's the answer to that. 90 minus 12 equals sick. Period. There's a whole bunch of stuff in my body that needs to happen that will never go on, turn on, cut off, or whatever because it just doesn't have the fuel. So you gotta flip them light switches on, right? On, the city of light. On. You gotta turn it on. More questions?
You have any Mama Atomics in here?
No, I got some Mama Atomics in the stack. Yes, sir. And I got some new DVDs.
Good question, Mr. EnQi. When you do your readings with the Ching,
Yes, sir.
you do the number stuff, right?
Yep. Man, okay, that. Let me
I'm
go
doing
to
some
that.
research on that myself now.
Okay.
How do you connect your body that, for example, you get a reading for tech.
Oh, see, you trying to do what Levi and Jason want me to do. Y'all want me to go into the whole.
Yeah. That's what we get.
Well,
I'll give you this real quick. No.
I'm not giving that. You're going to have to pay me to give him that one.
I'll give you this. I'll give you the beginning. But like I said, it's a whole year course.
I ain't giving up.
If we don't understand the energy and the magnetic parts, like the other part is useless. We can get that anywhere, like $5 book right now, Barnes & Noble's Ching. We can get that. How to make a hexagram and read it. Throw the coins, boom. 99.99% of the people that are doing Ching have no idea what they're doing. And the flyest part about it is the shit still work for them.
It's true. You're right.
It still works. That's how good it is. You don't gotta know, you don't gotta understand the shit, and it still works.
And why?
You're right. It works for a lot of people.
It works.
But they don't understand the mechanics.
They don't understand the mechanics. But in order to be a master, in order to take black folks from where they are to where they need to go, we need to understand why it works. Especially now when the world is getting ready to go back to running completely on hydrogen. And we are the hydrogen people. We think we're the sunlight people. We're not. We're the water people. We gotta get that. Alright? So 1, 2, and 3. All the classes you missed. Right, but it's 3. So most people, they looking at it, they think it's the same one. No. The white one is number 1, red, white, and blue. White one's number 1, red's number 2, and then the blue/purple is number 3. And in today's class will be number 4. But here's the answer. The 64 codons and the 64 hexagrams that you would use to do the reading in the Ching is the same as the 64 codons that make up your body through the amino acids. And this is how you match those. Alright? The yang represents the pyrimidines. dynamics. Inside your body, you have 2 different types of nucleic acids. You have purines and pyrimidines. Alright? Your purines have 9 atoms, your pyrimidines have 6. Number of man. Right? Mind you, there are 4 bases in your DNA, like baseball. Right? So how do you match them up? Simple. Yang represents energy or spirit. So when we look, the first thing we got to do is look into the body and see where energy is produced in your body. ATP or mag ATP, which your body uses for energy, is composed of adenine. That's deep, right? Because look, let me show you some fly shit. This is how you can look at it 2 different ways to figure this out. We can go through the science shit, which is all what I just said. The nucleic acid, the purine pyrimidine, boom, 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 and all that, right? Or we could just go, the number of yang in EnQi
Come on.
is 9.
Talk to me.
And adenine, just add a 9. Adenine. The spirit will always give you confirmation. It will always give you confirmation. That's how you know if you're in the right direction or not. So, yang governs energy. So, what governs energy in the body? ATP or adenine. So now we have yang for adenine. Very simple. Now, we go old yang, which is 9, right? Adenine. Then the couple to that is guanine, because we know how the 4 bases join together in your DNA, right? Through hydrogen bonds. It's hydrogen bonds that hold the DNA together. So again, we have to understand this hydrogen, which is the plasma thing. This is why we got to understand this, right? So adenine, which is the number 9, combines with thiamine or uracil, which is the number 6, right? Guanine, number 7, combines with cytosine, which is your number 8, all right? So this is how it connects right into your biology. Quick, 1 slide. You know, we're going to take more time, obviously, and go in depth into it, but just so you can see. Then we see the game of kings, right? 64 board on the chest, right? 64 spaces, right? And we go around. If we count the spaces on the outside, what do we get? 28. So if we go around the 64-piece board, we get 28, which is what? The days of your month, the days of the menstrual cycle. That's 64. It's everything is there, right? And where did that come from? The Egyptian goddess Hecate. This is why the Eye of Heru is divided into 64s. Woo! And who was Hecate known as in Egypt? The goddess of divining. That's why this is the all-seeing eye. Still on the dollar bill that way. Knowledge is how you see everything. Right? So to answer your question, when you're building the hexagrams, this is how we build them. So in the book, you will have the template. Now this is a diagram explaining the template, because in the EnQi system that I created, this is my EnQi system. You always are going to be aware of not just the energy, but what energy each line represents. Because the original hexagrams were not even hexagrams that Fusi used. They were quadrams. There were 4 lines, not 6. Until they discovered the way to map the electron spin, they didn't add the extra 2 lines into the middle, because they realized there was energies going through the planet that they weren't accounting for. Cheap one. So this is how you build it, and the energy goes from the planet up. This is why you build hexagrams this way, because this is how the energy moves through your body. Up and to the left. And then what do we have right here? You have a 45-degree angle. Angle.
45 or that? Oh yeah, that is.
Or an L.
90-degree angle? 90. Well, after that is 45.
Right.
I got you. We got you.
Now, he who. I'm going to close on this one for real. This is the closing slide for real. This is also a Minister EnQi discovery, but y'all can help me out with this one. Y'all can help me out with this one. These are the original 4 hieroglyphs for the set of twins. And they weren't called the Agdod in Egypt. Remember, that is the Greek translation. In Egypt, they were known as the Kemenu. Kemenu, right? So you look at the word menu. It was spelled M-E-N-U. What does that word mean in English?
Menu.
Menu. Gives me the list of things, right? Kim is black. Black list of everything. Kemenu. It's good to remember it that way. Right? But these are the 4 sets of twins. Now, what is Minister EnQi's startling discovery? that these are actually equations. These are equations so that we can understand the actual science that's encoded here. So I figured this one out. It's not just infinity. It's the scientific equation for how you get to infinity. And how you get there is plasma. This is why this is telling you the hydrogen-hydrogen interaction. When you combine hydrogen atoms, you create hydrogen gas or plasma. Fusion. Correct. And that's also the way to create sustainable energy. And when you have diamagnetic gas placed in the magnetic field, it expands how? In right angles. All right. So we're gonna cut it on that. Because if I go past this, it's gonna get super crazy. And I gotta get on the radio with Richard Sugg. Now listen. What time is it?
5:38.
Okay, good.
5:40.
Who remembers when I was talking about the book, Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires?
Yeah, I know that.
I'm gonna be on the radio with Homeboy today. So the medical book. Nobody heard of this book. Nobody heard of this book. I don't know how it came into my hands. Alright? I knew about the book years ago. But I never had the book. The book was $300 for a hard copy, $70 for a paperback.
Damn.
Right. Yeah. So I was on tour with another brother, told him about the book, and he was so excited I told him about the book, he bought us both one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but now I get to do an interview tonight and actually do questions. And the book is about white folks eating black folks for the last 2,000 years.
And counting.
And it chronicles the fact that this is where modern European medicine came from.
What station you gonna be on?
It's Blog Talk.
Blog Talk?
Yeah. So I'm gonna call it soon. I'm gonna get the number for you.
And
soon.
counting.
But the crazy thing is, this is medical information, and they're still doing it now. So when people hear that, they're like, you mean eating niggas? Nigga, they still eating niggas now. All you gotta do is look up HEK293. That is removed kidney cells from aborted black babies that they put in food for flavoring. So they're still eating niggas now. They feed niggas. Y'all eat niggas. You had Campbell soup, Gerber, naked juices, you eat niggas. Yeah, it's nigga smoothie into those drinks. Those
Natural flavoring.
That's right.
Natural.
You're getting some real natural flavors.
Yeah, real natural flavors.
Little undeveloped butt cheeks in there. Right. So, we got the DVDs. Yeah, applause is cool. I love it. After that, the Brother Levi. And we give an invisible round of applause for Hot. Right? They on the road.
Yeah.
Never coming goddamn home. Hot, come home, damn it! They never coming home. They're loving the road.
It's a series of what's going on here.
Okay, so this is Brother Aziz. Yes, Brother Aziz had to show y'all his suit and this jacket. So he just thought of something to come up to the front of the room to say. He's just like, I gotta see something. Like, hey, come show the outfit. No, I'm just kidding. No, very important what he...
The DVDs is the series of what's going on there.
Correct.
So, like you said, it's a year.
Year-long study.
Year-long study, so these are the beginning of it.
Yeah. And this is our new operations manager. So everyone, let's get your number.
347.
Wait, Jason. This you might want to slow motion this shit like a Kanye video. Let's slow motion it down. Because this means they'll never call me and you again. Watch this.
Oh, praise
Run
God.
it down.
347.
347.
607.
607.
03.
86. And he is not a dirty bastard like me and Jason. He will answer your call all the time. Yes. At 4 o'clock in the morning. No, not at 4 o'clock. He has children. Actually, he does answer that time. Don't call him. Yeah. Yes. So we have somebody that will take your call and get back to you immediately. Brother Rashawn, you're looking wavy. Diagnostic is here. Sister Crystal up in New York. I got yours in the back. Okay. Brother Curry out in Milwaukee. So far the chapter building is going great. We got a chapter in New York. We got a chapter in Illinois. We got a chapter in Ohio. We got a chapter in Pennsylvania. We got a chapter in Georgia. We got a chapter in California. I'll be out there to help the grand opening of that one February 22nd. Oh, Texas will kill me. We had a crazy chapter in Texas. I'll be down there doing a college tour in Texas in like 2 months. Sister Abundance Child. All right, don't forget Sister Abundance Child. She said, Minister, how was you opening chapters and you didn't start the Drop Squad Kitchen? She went in. So trust me, Drop Squad Kitchen is opening the Delaware chapter ASAPery. So Delaware be up and running. We got Brother Ray Sean up in Virginia, so we're looking good. We got about 10, 11 chapters running so far, and we want to just continue to make it big. We got a lot of people having a lot of success on the 40-day fruit fast. Join the group.
Word.
It's 4,000 people in there.
Word up.
It's nothing but recipes every day. Do not call me or brother. Don't call me, period, ever. But don't call Brother Aziz. Feel free to call Jason still.
EnQi, stop playing. Same thing goes.
No, don't call Brother Aziz for recipes. All right? That's not. Go into the 40-day fruit fast group. There's recipes there. I can't babysit and prepare food. All those questions are there. High blood pressure. Everything is in there. Documents, books, free books. How to do the 40-day fruit fast. How to eat. All that's in the group. How to exercise. All right? The Vegan Mafia. Don't think just because you don't see them with me all the time that they've gone somewhere. All right? Prince is still very much active. Right? Just like Maul and everybody else, but we gotta live. So right now, Prince is training hard, utilizing the principles that we teach to go back professional again. So he's actually weighing in February 8th. All right? You
Big
guys will
Prince.
all be tuned in. All right? If you're in New York, have your ass in the building with Sinetta. If you're in Detroit, February 8th, you better be with your minister in Detroit. Okay? 7th and 8th, your minister's in Detroit. All right? But Prince will be here in Philly weighing in. So everybody at home, make sure y'all give y'all prayers and our support. We got to see our man with the belt. Then it's going to be real crazy.
Word.
Okay, so you think Minister EnQi talk crazy now. Let a nigga get a championship belt on Mama Thomas. So, we walking down the street naked. Like what? We got championships, nigga. What? Prince, get him. Knock him out. So, it's a real exciting time for the Black Eugenicists. We having fun with it. Everybody's progressing. A lot of awesome weight loss testimonies. I think somebody just came off of some heart medication.
DJ, where you at, boy? Some of the motherfucking down south ribs or something, man.
Restart. Yes, I did.
You're gonna have to
see the footage.
4 hours apart.
Yes, I'm about to say Jay. I can hear the sound going. Why not hear that?
It's been on. It's been on, bro. For anybody that doesn't mind being on the camera, I understand. I understand if you do, but if you don't, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
y'all, everybody.
ordinary. Niggas with warrants goes that way. Anybody that works for the government also go that way. Don't get in the thing. You might get fired. Correct.
They're just like
Is there a way to actually take a photo with this, or you could just do the video like this and you want to make it? Gotcha. Brothers, thanks for coming, man. We appreciate y'all. We're glad that y'all can come and do this class with us. Thank you very much. Peace to the
brothers off. You can't run this off camera.
I probably tell what I see, but they don't, and you gotta give them credit for that. And I do.
Yes, for the people that came off camera, thank you very much. Peace to the guys. Thank you very much, beloved. Hotel.
Hey.
On the street, boy, never ever wait for a sure thing. I see the future.
It was a loving, special moment.
Eyes of men that look just like me. I feel the pain in my heart, knowing they came up just like me. I hear an alarm sounding to wake others sleep just like me. I get the feeling that they're just like me. like me. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, take money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, take money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, take money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, take money, money, money. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Roll with respect. Keep a revolver in the vest. It's like getting killed with some kind of drug on the block. Most of these heads walking around fiending to get shot. Shit, I feel like I had all I could take. Something gotta give. I'm ready to break. Focused on a goal, heart and soul. Hot like fire in the world, so cold. I would never give up my dream altogether. It just feel like I've been grinding forever. So maybe I caught